Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Clark.
Welcome into the program. Happy New Year to everybody. First show of the year, and thank God, though, it is Friday. Because I don't know about you, but I started looking around at the news this morning, and a bunch of commie gobbledygook coming out of New York City. Now, we learned to expect this to one degree or another as we watch Zohran, or whatever his name is, Mamdani, rise to power there in New York City. After, I told folks, be careful. He's very good at campaigning. Very, very good at campaigning indeed. He's quite the spokesman. He's quite the charmer. In particular, the young women of probably one of the most important, powerful cities on earth. The young women were just went to him, flocked to him. I wish they mocked him, but they flocked to him in droves, like the salmon of Capistrano. The beer flows like wine. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. It reminds me of an old George Orwell quote. What is it, from 1984? It was always the women, and above all, the young ones, who were the most bigoted adherents of the party, the swallowers of slogans, yeah? Indeed, that's what they're swallowing. And the amateur spies and nosers out of unorthodoxy. It's all about the group. It's all about the collective. It's all about the henpecking within the mirroring of the lady ways. And it is a shame that you're seeing this. Now, a bunch of dopes up there were so confused by TikTok that they, I think, unless it's AI, maybe I'm being tricked, a bunch of folks showed up at the Brooklyn Bridge thinking there was going to be a fireworks display. There was not. Thousands of people just standing out there in the cold for no good daggum reason. And Mamdani, in his, inaugural speech, he had this to say. It's like, people kept telling me Ayn Rand is just wrong. And at this point in my life, I think Ayn Rand, to steal from the great Michael Malice, didn't have all the answers, but she asked all the right questions. Oh, and she really had a great sensitivity to what collectivism could do to a society. She saw it with her own eyes, to her own family. She saw what happened to the Soviet Union. You could read Atlas Shrugged, or you could read Anthem or The Fountainhead, but I would highly suggest We the Living, because it's almost semi-autobiographical about what happened and the insanity that it ushered in. But of course, Mamdani's going to do it democratically. And that is amazing that we get away with this. You can like socialism, bad. We all agree. We've learned from the Russian experience, from the Chinese experience, from the Venezuela experience, from the Cuban experience, from the American experience in many cases. That's what's wrong with our society, is the vestiges of socialism from the bygone early progressive era. But it's socialism isn't that bad as long as it's democratic socialism. As I explained the other month, that, murder's bad. But democratic murder, cool. Like all sorts of stuff, assault, rape, all bad. But democratic assault, you put democratic in front of it, it covers all manner of sins. So maybe the false gospel is actually socialism. Perhaps the false gospel continues to also be democracy. We, the people, tends to lead itself to this collectivist moment. And of course, as they're calling Trump and team, and Vance, of course, is going to be the real fascist as Trump exits the political stage eventually. What you're going to find is, well, as again, George Orwell predicted, he himself a democratic socialist, though it seemed he was starting to wriggle out of it near the end of life and just start to see clearly. But as Orwell pointed out, it seems like it's always the democratic socialist, or the socialist, the collectivist, who centralizes authority and power for the fascists to take over. Let me say that again. It's always the democratic socialist, the collectivist, who centralizes power in the name of, free childcare and free buses and freezing the rent and all this other, all the stuff you could ever want. Bread. We'll give you bread. And once that authority is centralized, you know what happens? Whether in the name of socialism or the revolution, this is especially true of Lenin and Stalin and the like, or in the name of like a Mussolini type reacting, or a Hitler type reacting to Bolshevism and communism, you tend to create a ripe, fertile ground for authoritarian strongmen. So it's maybe we shouldn't have collectivism. Maybe we shouldn't centralize authority. Maybe we shouldn't listen to guys like this, who I guess was sworn in on the Quran of all things. Let's listen in to Zohran Mamdani. I can't believe he actually said this.
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our campaign demonstrated that the people of New York yearn for solidarity, then let this government foster it. Because no matter what you eat, how you pray, or where you come from, the words that most define us are the two we all share: New Yorkers. We will
Let's hear the beginning again.
Draw this city closer together.
Yes.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
The frigidity. It's cold out there when you're a rugged individualist, and we'll bring people together through the warmth of collectivism. Well, I'm feeling like I don't want to come together. How about that? How about I think your programs are nonsense? How about I think what you're doing to this city, New York City, is the continued destruction of that place. De Blasio was no great either. But it's kind of remarkable. Kind of remarkable indeed, 25 years almost after 9/11, that this is what we get in New York City. All as the young women and all the liberal cucks decide, well, this is probably the right direction. Now, I could go to all the standard folks out there who normally, speak from the grave in these matters. For instance, I could go to Margaret Thatcher. I could go to Milton Friedman. I could go to Ayn Rand. But instead, I want to start with a guy who's still living and breathing. And if you're not a Catholic, a Roman Catholic, don't worry. I got a famous Baptist preacher coming up after this. Bishop Robert Barron put this out after that speech you heard from Mamdani, saying, there was a line from Zohran Mamdani's inaugural address yesterday that took my breath away, the bishop says. He said he intended to replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. Collectivism, in its various forms, is responsible for the deaths of at least 100 million people in the last century. Socialist and communist forms of government around the world today, Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, etc., are disastrous Catholic social teaching, writes Bishop Robert Barron, has consistently condemned socialism and has embraced the market economy, which people like Mayor Mamdani caricature as quote-unquote rugged individualism. In fact, it is the economic system that is based upon the rights, individual rights, freedom, and dignity of the human person. For God's sake, writes Bishop Robert Barron, spare me the warmth of collectivism. Amen, amen, and amen again. But maybe some of y'all are like, get that Mary worshiping like apostate out here. He's anathema. He anathemized us, all this stuff. Okay, so maybe you don't want, stop it with the infallible Pope stuff. Fair enough. We're all different types here in this world. Here's a little story. A guy named Josh Howerton put this out. Charles Spurgeon versus Karl Marx. As socialism, aka collectivism, gains steam in our nation, here's a lesser-known story about Charles Spurgeon. Karl Marx moved to London during the heights of Spurgeon's ministry, and his followers started advocating for, quote-unquote, democratic socialism. Spurgeon recognized this as evil and confronted it in his preaching, saying this like in a sermon on Isaiah 66. Quote, for many a year, by the grand old truths of the gospel, sinners were converted and saints were edified, and the world was made to know that there is a God in Israel. But these are too antiquated for the present cultured race of superior beings. They are going to regenerate the world by democratic socialism and set up a kingdom for Christ without the new birth or the pardon of sin. Truly, the Lord has not taken away the 7,000 that have not bowed the knee to Baal. The latter-day gospel is not the gospel by which we were saved. To me, it seems a tangle of ever-changing dreams. It is, by the confession of its inventors, the outcome of the period, the monstrous birth of the boasted progress, the scum from the cauldron of conceit. It has not been given by the infallible revelation of God. It does not pretend to have been. It is not divine. It has no inspired scripture at its back. It is, when it touches the cross, an enemy. It might say in the letter of John, the Antichrist. When it speaks of him who died thereon, it is a deceitful friend. Many are in its snares, the truth of substitution. It is irate at the mention of the precious blood. Many a pulpit where Christ was once lifted high in all the glory of his atoning death is now profaned by those who laugh at justification by faith. In fact, men are not now to be saved by faith, but by doubt. Those who love the church of God feel heavy at heart because the teachers of the people cause them to err. Even from a national point of view, men of foresight see cause for grave concern. It's interesting that you see great religious leaders, even political thinkers, philosophers, whether they're economists or philosophers, could be Jewish atheists. There's all sorts of folks that have seen this monster and called it out. And yet we keep going back like a dog returns to his vomit. Welcome into the new year. Thank God we live in Alabama and not that godforsaken place, New York City. I don't wish ill on the people of New York City, but you keep going in the direction you're going in, you're going to get what you sow. Reap what you sow. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. How you doing today,
I'm
sir?
doing good, brother. How are you today?
I'm all right. Life's all right.
All right.
I just can't stand collectivism or socialism.
Well, it's funny because I would argue that we have found ourselves to a degree with Trump and the MAGA movement and the recent divisiveness that's occurring in the conservative ranks between old and new camps. Populism is a very dangerous word, right? It's a powerful word, right? It's a powerful word, but it also comes with other connotations like you just described. And I got to tell you, as I listen to you read
Bishop Barron?
Yeah,
Charles Spurgeon?
No. Mamdani, but I call him Barat. I call him a communist Barat. But anyways, he could almost be a Pajit, I suppose. But anyways, my thoughts were this. Listen to what he's saying. He's talking about deconstructing Christianity, deconstructing the republic, and replacing it with a collectivism that is a monotheistic. He's licking his chops, man. I'm telling you, it's nothing good. Nothing good can come of this. There. Well, God might be able to make something good. But.
No, we'll see. It's just, and he knew what he was doing. He knew it would rile up me and everybody else out there.
He's going to get shot at, probably.
That is, it's just, to me, it's, I think we are moving towards
one world government, man.
Disaster. And this is what folks wanted with Kamala Harris. It's what you were starting to get with Joe Biden. They wouldn't say it outright in the way Bernie would say it or AOC would say it. And in fact, you could make the claim that Biden's team around him were all about the social upheaval of the means of cultural production. Yeah. But they were, at the end of the day, just grifters, that all the promises of infrastructure and high quality was just going to the, say, managerial elite that were raking as much in as they could through this process. And so possibly Biden just talked a good game. These guys are true believers. We'll see how it actually works out.
I'm careful when I say, I'll caveat what you said at the beginning when you said, it seems like everybody wanted this. And I asked, Rod and I were, when we travel, one of the things I do from going to Virginia, Ohio, wherever I'm going, Texas, I stop, I talk to people, I talk to local people, and I just see what's going on in that area. And you know what? There's good people everywhere, brother. It's a silent majority in this country is the thing. You've got a very vocal, and it's a big minority. It's a big minority, but it is not the decisive number that they need to do what they need to do. And we need to take back some of that. And I think we are. I think this, you said it best the other day. You said, look, I don't know what this will all hatch with Trump's term here, but what happens in 2028 will be the harbinger of what's going to continue. And it's, I'm confident that God is giving an opportunity to us to bring back what we need to bring back.
And one thing is I find interesting, I want to go back to Ayn Rand, who has educated me in a lot of ways. She was, I think, an atheist of the day she died. But 1959 interview with Mike Wallace, it's a pretty famous one. Rand issued a warning. She's asked by Mike Wallace, a lot better than his son, how do you feel about the political trends of the United States of the Western world? Rand answered, the way everybody feels, except more consciously. I feel that it is terrible, that you see destruction all around you, and that you are moving towards disaster until and unless all of those welfare state conceptions have been reversed and rejected. It is precisely these trends which are bringing the world to disaster, because we are now moving to complete collectivism or socialism, a system under which everybody is enslaved to everybody, and we are moving that way only because of our altruist morality.
That's an interesting word, altruism.
And a lot of these things can be haggled over and argued in good faith, but at a certain point, you have to look at the fruits of this attempt that has been made over and over again, and especially on a vast level. Now, I think Mamdani is going to be reined in many ways by federal and state realities.
So.
He is, but it is a big city he's getting to run his experiment with. So we'll watch. So anyway,
what could possibly go wrong?
Welcome into the new year, and keep your eyes open for this is, I think, the direction the left wants to go. Or, they could do a swerve and go to like Andy Beshear of Kentucky or Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania. Whoever that dope running Colorado is at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a circus. My thoughts are, where does Mamdani set on the federal perspective? Where's he going to try to insert himself at after this tour in New York?
Well, we shall see. 272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation. We also have more from Mamdani's speech if I want to continue to torture y'all here in the river region area. Stephen Miller now weighing in on what's happening in particular with the Somali fraud and how big and bad this is. Another fascinating video put out today by Catherine Herridge, who worked at Fox News for years, worked at CBS for a while. Yeah. And when she's working at CBS, she had the idea of doing a live interview with Elon. And this is right after he buys X, saying this could be a huge thing for CBS to kind of be on board with the new media world. And they're like, no, it has to be pre-taped and we don't know what he's going to say and all this other stuff. Well, we'll get to that. Just showing, Barry Weiss, I don't have a lot of confidence in Barry over, doing things there at CBS, changing the way they actually work. But if she's trying, she's got a lot of work to do.
You know, he had judged the success of that. Look at all the angst that's out there with the people calling her out, like George Clooney. Who gives a crap about
George Clooney?
Take his. I'm going to strip his Kentucky citizenship away, along with his Cincinnati citizenship.
George Clooney.
It's a
Don't
shame.
you be saying George Clooney?
Shame.
In front of me.
If you say it 3 times, he'll appear.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is East.
Hey, East. How are you?
Hey, East.
Hey, hey, how you doing, Troy?
Good, brother.
Look, I wanted to ask you about this mayor of Seattle. I saw a headline where she said that she was going to make it illegal for people to leave her city if they own a business. How do you do that, guys?
Yeah, Katie Wilson's her name. Yeah, she's a real humdinger. She's, I think, an Oregon graduate. That's all you need to know.
I think she could build like a wall.
Yeah.
Not
But
like to keep people in.
To keep people in.
Right, yeah.
Or to keep for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. We've been there. Yeah, she looks like she's the head of an HOA that would get mad at a veteran for
she's
a flag,
ugly.
you know?
She is. You'd eat her arm off, East, if you woke up next to her in bed one day tied up. She's ugly. She is ugly. She looks like she maybe is an alien.
Yeah, no comment from East the Rockies on that one. But no, I think what they would try to do is they would try to claw back, and you better believe California is going to try to do this too. They're going to say, through courts, that's how you do it. People will leave unless, you actually have armed men with guns and walls and stuff.
That can be arranged.
People will leave, and what they're going to do is try to go take these big companies to court. A big signal, not Seattle, but California, is Peter Thiel just very publicly claimed residency for Thiel Capital in the state of Florida, where it had been headquartered in California. So I think you're going to start to see a huge exit from these places, and these folks will try to sue and say, well, we will, because you were here, I can't even make their arguments. Politicians do not create squat other than envy and destruction. And maybe sometimes you need destruction, but they don't create squat. They're parasites. They're predators. They take. I'm sorry, as I'm rereading the New Testament,
they're locusts.
Christ does not say, let Caesar care for the poor.
No, he does not.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're locusts.
Well, that's another argument too that I've read this weekend, that people said that if the government doesn't give to people, then we're not loving the poor. And it's like, it's not the government's responsibility to do that. It's you and me individually. And that really, as our old friend used to say, frost my pajamas. But hey, look, I appreciate you guys. Troy, if you ever get in trouble for saying something, just say that the Carico guy said it.
All right. Yes. Or Trey. Trey's my alter bad ego, my wife says. It's Troy and Trey.
Trey Carico.
Trey Carico did it. I wasn't Troy Carico. He's a good man. Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny, East? I got to share this with you real fast. So I go to my in-laws, my son's in-laws, which we're very close to. Gail, if you're listening out there, I know you listen. And her brother down in Troy, who works for Sikorsky Aircraft, he blew his house up because he had stored JP8 by his house, and his lawnmower caught on fire, and it blew his house up. He's a real character. Well, he comes up to me as we're getting ready to leave to go down to Dothan to my brother's to see my mom. He hands me a key, and he goes, "Here, you may need this." And I look at it, and East, it's just it's like a skeleton key, a small one. And I go, "What is this, the key to my success or happiness?" He goes, "No, it's a handcuff key. That way, keep it in your back pocket. If you ever find yourself being cuffed," he showed me how to use it. He goes, "There." He goes, "That's what I'm giving you for Christmas." And I thought to myself, do I give that kind of vibe, Joey?
No.
That I might need a key to get out of handcuffs?
No, you don't know. I don't think you put off that vibe.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
Yeah, Troy, and Reed Houdini, he would
he was the best. Man, I love it.
Yeah.
Now you give off the vibe of like you would take somebody out and then turn yourself in sometimes.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Maybe Rambo. You're going to need more body. What can you do to help me, Colonel? You're gonna
they won't even need
bags.
the cuffs. Like
I could see Troy handing them the sword across his arm. Yeah.
I have.
After you've done the
done
deed.
my dirty deed. That's right, East.
There
Well,
you
listen,
go.
you have a blessed New Year, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
He's one of the good ones. I like him.
272-9228. Let's go to line 2 before the break. Hey, you're on there. Who's this?
Flower Child.
Hey, Flower Child. How are you doing?
I'm well, and I assume y'all look like you're doing well.
Yeah, we are.
My take on this is so simplistic. They tax the billionaires, right? And then the billionaires leave. Like when Bezos left Washington, the state of Washington is projected to lose $1 billion in lost tax revenue. So that's what they're going to do to the people in New York City. They're going to leave, and then they're going to lose the tax revenue.
Yep.
And I wish everybody would read the story, The Little Red Hen.
Oh, that's good.
I haven't thought of that in a while. That's a great one.
I mean, that is just
Covers it.
so simplistic. They need to send the Little Red Hen to all these people in New York City that think that this is going to work. It never works.
Well, and you would think that these things had been decided, and you see how awful and truly violent the outcomes can be. And, you know, for all the promises, don't get me wrong, folks, there are people that are the bleeding hearts who believe in socialism, and they're not the ones that end up running things. And, like, they are the ones that end up as fodder or betrayed.
Proletariat.
All this stuff. So there are many examples. It is interesting. It's edifying. Go Mikhail Bakunin. He was an anarchist who hated Karl Marx. He wanted like collectivism, but like little communes and stuff. He said, and he predicted in the 1800s, if you go down the road Marx is going, it will be a machinery of death to that, something to that effect.
Bolsheviks and Mensheviks, Joey.
And he wasn't wrong. Like Emma Goldman was a commie anarchist in the United States. She goes over, she's sent by the American government in exile, and she learns pretty quick. No, these folks actually don't want to give freedom at all. They don't believe in free speech. They don't believe in any of this stuff. And so I would just, for the true believing leftists out there, open your eyes. You're being led down. It's like, you know, read Animal Farm. Yeah. You're being led to the glue factory.
It's the pigs.
It just amazes me. I don't know where these people are educated, but
they're educated beyond their intellect. Flower Child, Flower Child.
And then you have Kathy Hochul that wants to tax the bartenders and the waitresses. You know, and Trump's trying to give them a break federally.
Yeah.
So here she's taking with one hand, and Mamdani is giving free stuff.
Yeah, and for all the calls for equality, you notice to do those things you just mentioned, they need unequal power to tax and take people's money and give it to other people. So to have equality, you need to give me unequal authority, and you always end up with a more equal person running the show.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times, if you notice this, a lot of these foreign-born people that they're leaving their countries for whatever reason. Like, let's just say Obama and this Mamdani guy and whoever, the Ilhan Omar. They come to America because they're escaping bad countries,
persecution,
and then they want to bring their policies with them. I don't understand it.
That's the problem. You're right. You're spot on. And here's the deal: if what they are bringing is going to hatch the same as Joey and I talk all the time, bad seeds bear what? Bad fruit.
Bad fruit, yeah.
And that's just the way it is. So,
well, I appreciate the call, Flower Child. Great hearing from you.
Bye.
Hey, and you inspired me. You ready to listen?
Yeah.
I have Ronald Reagan reading The Little Red Hen.
Oh, great. Hey, did you like your card? I thought since it was a guitar, you're a guitar player.
Oh,
that's why
I did. I enjoyed very much, and I just appreciate your love. And happy New Year.
You're a wonderful young man.
He sure is.
And I wish there was more of you in this world.
Wow.
Bye.
Well, bye. I was about to say, you hang up first. No, you
go.
No, but here.
You're great. No, you're great.
To go into this break, here is Ronald Reagan many moons ago reading The Little Red Hen.
A modern-day Little Red Hen may not appear to be a quotable authority on economics, but then some authorities on economics aren't worth quoting. About a year ago, I imposed a little poetry on you. It was called The Incredible Bread Machine, and made a lot of sense with reference to matters economic. You didn't object too much, so, having gotten away with it once, I'm going to try again. This is a little treatise on basic economics called The Modern Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen who scratched about the barnyard until she uncovered some grains of wheat. She called her neighbors and said, "If we plant this wheat, we shall have bread to eat. Who will help me plant it?" "Not I," said the cow. "Not I," said the duck. "Not I," said the pig. "Not I," said the goose. "Then I will," said the little red hen, and she did. The wheat grew tall and ripened into golden grain. "Who will help me reap my wheat?" asked the little red hen. "Not I," said the duck. "Out of my classification," said the pig. "I'd lose my seniority," said the cow. "I'd lose my unemployment compensation," said the goose. "Then I will," said the little red hen, and she did. At last it came time to bake the bread. "Who will help me bake bread?" asked the little red hen. "Oh, that'd be overtime for me," said the cow. "I'd lose my welfare benefits," said the duck. "I'm a dropout and never learned how," said the pig. "Well, if I'm to be the only helper, that's discrimination," said the goose. "Then I will," said the little red hen. She baked 5 loaves and held them up for her neighbors to see. They all wanted some, and in fact demanded a share. But the little red hen said, "No, I can eat the 5 loaves myself." "Excess profits," cried the cow. "Capitalist leech," screamed the duck. "I demand equal rights," yelled the goose. And the pig just grunted. And they painted unfair picket signs and marched round and round the little red hen, shouting obscenities. When the government agent came, he said to the little red hen, "You must not be greedy." "But I earned the bread," said the little red hen. "Exactly," said the agent. "That's the wonderful free enterprise system. Anyone in the barnyard can earn as much as he wants. But under our modern government regulations, the productive workers must divide their product with the idle." And they lived happily ever after, including the little red hen, who smiled and clucked, "I am grateful, I am grateful." But her neighbors wondered why she never again baked any more bread. I guess a lot of us have been wondering something like that. This is Ronald Reagan. Thanks for listening.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
Attention River Region business owners. Local counties are now inspecting and enforcing backflow prevention requirements. Headley Plumbing is fully certified to install, repair, and test backflow preventers, helping you stay compliant and avoid costly violations. We've been serving the River Region for decades with dependable professional service you can trust. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the River Region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
Kick off 2026 with a money-saving deal at the River Region's top pizza buffet. Pizza Perfect. In January, get $5 off any large pizza. No matter how many toppings, you'll save $5. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. In January, get $5 off any large pizza at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook, available for carryout and delivery.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the way as an approaching frontal system brings rain back into the forecast. Today will be a warmer day, high 66. Risk of showers beginning this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms becoming likely tonight. And first half of the day, Saturday, a few stronger storms not out of the question. Breezy tonight, low 58. Saturday's high up to about 68. Look for improvement by Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks dry but cooler with a high temperature up near 60. And we've got some warmer days ahead next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The holidays may be over, but the bills don't have to weigh you down. Let ASE Credit Union help lighten your financial load with our special post-holiday loan options. Visit us online at yourasecu.com or stop by one of our branches to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
When you see around the globe the maldistribution of wealth, the desperate plight of millions of people in underdeveloped countries, when you see so few haves and so many have-nots,
Phil Donahue.
when you see the greed and the concentration of power within,
to Milton Friedman.
did you ever have a moment of doubt about capitalism and whether greed's a good idea to run on?
Well, first of all, tell me, is there some society you know that doesn't run on greed? You think Russia doesn't run on greed? You think China doesn't run on greed? What is greed? Of course, none of us are greedy. It's only the other fellow who's greedy. The world runs on individuals pursuing their separate interests. The great achievements of civilization have not come from government bureaus. Einstein didn't construct his theory under order from a bureaucrat. Henry Ford didn't revolutionize the automobile industry that way. In the only cases in which the masses have escaped from the kind of grinding poverty you're talking about, the only cases in recorded history are where they have had capitalism and largely free trade. If you want to know where the masses are worst off, it's exactly in the kinds of societies that depart from that. So that the record of history is absolutely crystal clear. That there is no alternative way so far discovered of improving the lot of the ordinary people that can hold a candle to the productive activities that are unleashed by a free enterprise system.
But it seems to reward not virtue as much as ability to manipulate the system.
And what does reward virtue? You think a communist commissar rewards virtue? You think a Hitler rewards virtue? You think, excuse me, if you'll pardon me, do you think American presidents reward virtue? Do they choose their appointees on the basis of the virtue of the people appointed or on the basis of their political clout? Is it really true that political self-interest is nobler somehow than economic self-interest? You know, I think you're taking a lot of things for granted. And just tell me where in the world you find these angels who are going to organize society for us. Well, I don't even trust you to do that.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio. A little blast from the past there. Milton Friedman schooling up.
Phil Donahue. The modern father of talk show from Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Good friends with Irma Bombeck. I was nominated to West Point and I was nominated to all three academies. I got accepted at two of them. But the Air Force Academy and then and the West Point. And I was at a social and I met him because Tony Hall was our Democratic representative that nominated me to West Point. And he was famous for the Iran-Contra. He was part of the conservative Democrats with Oliver North sending weapons to the Iran-Contra thing and stingers to Afghanistan. And I talked with Phil Donahue for about 15 minutes. It was just about three of us. And I came away impressed. But, I thought to myself after I walked away, he's from Dayton, but he's never farmed. He's never worked hard in his life.
Well, and Donahue was the great foil to somebody like a Friedman or to like Ayn Rand. Those episodes with Rand are hilarious.
He was definitely a socialist.
One of my favorite moments is when Ayn Rand is asked about the Illuminati. She's like, "What is this creature asking this question? This idiot asking this question to me?" But Donahue, obviously, I think skilled at his trade, but also very reflective of the liberal boomendrum and the zeitgeist of his time. And I think also, as much as folks on the right side of the political aisle, conservatives, think it's always getting worse. Like, no. You should go back to pre-war, World War II. You should go back to right after the war. There's a lot of government. Keep in mind that, thank God, FDR replaced his vice president with Truman. Henry Wallace was literally pen pals with Stalin. Who did Nixon out? Alger Hiss, who was in line to be the next Secretary of State. He was an actual Soviet spy. And then when you get into the culture and the media, that was a very real thing. So if anything, what's happened is the socialists have moved towards more of a grift as well as more of the cultural dominance stuff. This is why like all the DEI stuff cropped up. Instead of doing it like let's redistribute economic means, let's redistribute like prestige and social status and all these other things by, like it's a great Norm Macdonald line, cisgender.
Right.
Like there's transgender and cisgender, and people are like, what's cisgender? He goes, it's just a way to normalize or marginalize a normal person. And you see this over and over again to where I think are almost giving the game away.
Well,
they understand there are certain folks who play this game who understand that they are part of the more equal caucus. So they might have patrons. It's like old patronage systems of Rome.
Sure.
They understand that all this talk of equality, they'll still be on top.
Sure.
They'll have nicer things. They'll have more power than anybody else.
Yeah.
And yet they're able to take care of a few folks. And this is what you're seeing with the Somali example and other examples with a lot of the immigration stuff.
But see, right, what you said there, isn't that the fallacy with all this this idealistic globalism, whether you wanted even communism, socialism, you had Mensheviks, you had Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks stood on the back of the Menshevik. He was a useful idiot, and they lived like oligarchs.
Right. And you have a lot of people saying this about a lot of the Islamists in particular coming in, vote left. They vote Democrat because the Democrats are opening the doors up and come on in. But you'll notice their voting patterns at the local level are very much against the left Democrat, the progressive way, especially in social issues. So I don't know. The way I view it is because I'm not like some objectivist like Ayn Rand. I have gotten to the point where I don't worship at the feet of the market. Like the market is actually a spontaneous order of human interaction. I think the best way to look at this is look at human nature. You can judge that through history, especially look at the scriptures.
Nothing new under the sun.
And for instance, the one thing that folks constantly, I think, get wrong, and Margaret Thatcher, I got a clip of her, got it right, is that we are all unequal to one degree or another. We're only equal in the eyes of God. Like, so you have that equal dignity. And this idea that you can make things more equal by overturning the current hierarchy and setting up a new one. Setting up a new one. There's always going to be somebody on top.
Absolutely.
And the only way you actually make that hierarchy work is if you have the king bow down to the average person, knowing I'm the king, and the lowest person respects the king for being the king, so to speak. But the king gets there and washes feet while still being the king. Like there is a way to flatten things out and balance things out without, again, giving over to government, to Caesar, the sword. Like a sword is good for a lot of things. It's not good for equalizing things by economic means.
No, it's not. But I would say this: the way if we know that man is fallible, and we know that all men are not angels, thus we need government, and who governs the governors?
Right. Who guards the guards?
The gun governs the governors. It's the Second Amendment. It's the most important amendment to me, because you don't have a First Amendment without a Second Amendment if you don't If you catch my drift.
It's stuff I worried about long ago, over a decade ago, as I'm in college. I look at these dehumanized, impersonal systems of bureaucratic control, and they call it welfare. And you see what happens, even at its best, when it goes to folks, everybody would kind of be like, they're deserving. It loses the personal touch. It loses this idea of you are grafted into a community and you are together. Instead, you're a number and you get a check.
That's right.
And that's when it's working at its best.
When it's at its worst.
When it's at its worst, you see the rife fraud and corruption. And it only gets worse with time. It gets more constipated, so to speak, with all the bureaucracy and the redistribution. It's a terrible direction to go. And yet, I think, have hope in 2026, folks. Have hope indeed, because
it's gonna be a good year.
As much as you might think, oh, look at the socialism rising. No. They're much weaker than they were 50, desperate. 60, 70 years ago.
They're desperate, my friend. They are. They're trying to come up with a new thing. And I think you hit on something we might want to look at down the road. Their TTPs, that's their techniques, tactics, and procedures. They've adapted pretty well, but they've lost control of the narrative media piece. And that the internet's a lot of boom. There's good parts, there's bad parts. Anyone can publish anything, but the good news is anyone can publish anything.
Yes.
And that's where they're losing their power.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And it's interesting when you realize, so much of the world was control.
I had no idea.
Conversations were controlled.
30 years ago, if you would ask me, I thought that, wait a minute. I realize now that there was a narrative constantly being pushed out. And
people didn't even know. It's like a fish in water.
You're just sitting there.
Yeah, and like, what's water?
What is water? Is water real?
And now folks are starting to see through this. The issue is that also, as much as Florida became a red state, and Texas became a little bit more red, and Tennessee became a little bit more red, because all these folks, especially during COVID, leave the blue states.
They do.
Especially from New York City, what does that leave in New York City? A bunch of blue
ash
state
in the
folks.
trash.
Yeah, and they are gonna. So the radicalization, like the polarization in the country, continues apace.
Yep.
In a little bit, we'll get into more of the fallout from Nick Shirley's efforts.
Yeah, I've seen that. He's been under the
people threatening to kirk him, which is an awful thing to say.
I don't like that term.
Yeah, very awful thing to say. Trump issues a warning to Iran as Iranian protests spread to 20 plus cities, including Iranian protesters setting fire to a Revolutionary Guard base.
Yep. IRGC.
Yeah, so a lot happening in Iran there.
Joey, now's the perfect time to airdrop up in the northeast and northwest provinces up there weapons and arm those people so they can take back the government. And that country is so thirsty to be shirked of the theocracy that's been put on them. It's interesting.
Well, and we also have stories about how Obamacare subsidies have expired. Prices are spiking.
Yes, they are.
Green energy company is killing bald eagles. Like, apparently hundreds of eagles a year being killed by wind turbines and the like.
Social Darwinism.
Trump working on the triumphant arc in D.C.
Yes,
should be beginning in the next month or two.
Have you seen the rendering of that?
Yeah, it's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
And the small models.
It's pretty cool.
The scale models.
Cool. Yeah.
Really cool stuff. And of course, MTV officially shut down its 24-hour music channels.
Wow.
Just the other day. They ended their final broadcast with Video Killed the Radio Star by the Bugles. The very first video broadcast on MTV on August 1st, 1981. Well, I have to say, Video killed the radio star, but MTV killed MTV.
They did.
What in the world did they do?
Reality show. They were into too much stuff.
I saw an idea. They could have just taken all the old school videos from the 80s, the 90s, the early aughts, and just play those on repeat again. You would have had a great channel that people would have tuned into. Instead, they kept running reality TV.
Diversify their portfolio, Joey.
Anyway, let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, before I forget this part of the program, brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are ready to help you for the new year. Make sure your home is ready for all those invasive pests. Yeah. The worst thing you need to worry about, especially if you haven't had inspections in a while, is termites. If the season is upon us, get Pest Pro Services out there. They can do an inspection, make sure you don't already have termites. God forbid you do. And they can lay down 24/7 year-round protection to make sure you're not going to have that problem. It's one of those issues that can just be, if you let it fester, you let the termites just eat through. You don't want to see like your crown molding start to dissolve like sawdust. That's where it's gone way too far already. Get on top of it. And of course, with the cooler weather, you also have a lot of wildlife trying to make a home out of your home. Don't let them. Pest Pro's Wildlife Control Service can keep them out and take them out and keep them out and prevent it in the first place. So you'll check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. I've got this queued up. This is Stephen Miller on with Jesse Waters not long ago. And he's going to sum up tie this all together, like how redistributing wealth, as well as, say, just assets of the nation to folks that are brought in en masse. Well, this has been the plan all along.
Why are they engaged in all this? What is their objective here? It's the Somalification of America. In other words, when you see the state of Somalia, that's what they want for America at the end of the day, because it's easier to rule over an empire of ashes than it is for the Democratic Party to rule over a functioning, Western, high-trust society with a strong middle class.
Yep.
Look how powerful the Democrat Party became in Minnesota once they flooded it with 100,000 millions. Yep. Once the elections were decided, right, by clan rivalries and ethnic feuds. Once that happened, the Democrat Party became permanently powerful in Minnesota. They became permanently powerful in the Twin Cities. That's their model for America, to make the whole country into a version of Somalia. And everything they do gets down to that.
Yeah, and this is my point I was making earlier. It's not necessarily about the heady dreams of, free daycare or whatever, though that is partly the scheme.
Learned.
And it's more about making people that are dependent on the system, dependent on the government, dependent on this redistribution. And he's right that if you can't do it with Americans, let's just bring a bunch more folks in, especially if they're willing to engage with the gifts they give.
Why has America's traditional TTPs and strategies not worked in the most recent years? Because of dilution of the homogeneity of our demographics. That's why.
272-9228. If we don't have time right now, but if you want to get in, we'll be opening things up in the next hour. El Milliner should be stopping by to touch on some local things he has on his mind. Cool. And before I forget, this part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors. Normally talk to Austin Branco, but I think he's still got some time off, or maybe he's busy already in the new year. I don't know. Couldn't get in touch with him, but here's the deal. Austin runs the brokerage desk there. And then, of course, at Invista Advisors, it's not just Austin, it's a whole team, a multidisciplinary team. They have CPAs on staff, business consultants. Austin is an investment advisor. They all work together to provide a comprehensive approach to financial planning and asset management. So they create this integrated strategy. It allows them to deliver tailored strategies and maximize the benefits to you. Could be you're at the beginning of life, just starting a family, want to create a long-term plan. It starts with like life insurance and saving up for the kids' future. Or it could be you're got all your wealth tied up in your small business and you're looking to retire soon. Or, of course, it could be that you're near the end of life and you want to make sure everything's buttoned up, though you shouldn't even wait till you're kind of concerned for the end. You should already have that buttoned up. They can, of course, also help you with your stock investment portfolio. So y'all check out Invista Advisors today. You can always go to InvistaAdvisors.com or just give them a call direct at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Investigators say sparkling candles used on champagne bottles likely triggered the New Year's Eve bar fire in Crans, Montana in Switzerland after sparks hit some sound-absorbing ceiling material. The blaze tore through La Constellation, that's the name of that establishment, leaving at least 40 people dead and injuring about 120 others. Trading began today for 2026 on Wall Street following the New Year's holiday break yesterday. The S&P 500 ended last year up more than 16% of its value, a great year for investors. The Nasdaq was up 20%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average coming off a nearly 13% gain in 2025. Indiana rushed past Alabama 38-13 to move within reach of a national title shot. They'll have to get there, if they want to do it, by meeting Oregon in the semifinals next week. This is SRN News.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe. That's pound 250.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the way as an approaching frontal system brings rain back into the forecast. Today will be a warmer day, high 66, risk of showers beginning this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms becoming likely tonight, and first half of the day, Saturday, a few stronger storms not out of the question. Breezy tonight, low 58. Saturday's high up to about 68. Look for improvement by Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks dry but cooler with a high temperature up near 60. And we've got some warmer days ahead next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Jackson Hospital has been granted more time to find funding for their $293 million restructuring plan. To date, the hospital has secured around $200 million in known commitments. The emergency motion will allow Jackson Hospital time to find the remaining money through at least the end of January. Open enrollment for Alabama's School Choice Educational Savings Account program is now underway. Families may apply for the 2026-27 school year through March 31st, with award notifications scheduled to be announced on April 15th. Funding is up to $7,000 for private schools or $2,000 for homeschool. The Montgomery Zoo has announced the public debut of 4 young ostrich chicks. The chicks are named Navy, Chickpea, Lima, and Green Bean. The beans, as they are called, hatched in June and are now ready to meet the public. Guests can see the ostrich chicks do their excited spins and dances in the Africa section of the Montgomery Zoo. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hi, I'm Brian McMahon with Turf Stalkers. Within a few months of advertising with Blue Water, our customer base doubled. If you're looking for similar results, we highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
I guess all of us have had the experience of getting into a discussion and coming up with the right answer 2 hours later when we're all alone. I'll be right back. My award for someone who thought of the right answer while the discussion was still going on is a young man named Brad Lanaweaver, a member of Young Americans for Freedom at Pennsylvania State University. He has written of an encounter on the campus with a pretty young lady who believes socialism is the answer to our problems. His own philosophy was self-evident because he was wearing a button that proclaimed, "Cut down big government." With the cool breeze stirring her hair, she asked what Brad described as her ace-up-the-sleeve question. Even you right-wingers don't want to starve. Wouldn't you like a guarantee that you won't ever go hungry? Brad knew that if he admitted to this, she'd follow with, so why not such a guarantee for shelter, medicine, and all the rest? He paused, and then gave her the victory she was seeking, or so she thought. He said, "Sure, I'd like to lay my hands on everything I can get." "Oh," she said, "but the state is the closest you can come to such a guarantee." Brad described her as braced for a counterattack involving the magic of the market mechanism, but he threw another curve. "Sure," he said, "I grant that. There's something more. I'd like a guarantee of shelter and medical treatment and even some recreation." She must have thought she had a convert. A little shocked, she spoke, "But that's what we support. Why are you wearing that button?" She meant, of course, that cut-down big government button. Brad wasn't finished. He said to her, "I would also like a yacht." Somewhat defeated, she answered, "Well, if you're not going to be serious about it." "But I am," Brad said as earnestly as he could. "I would really and truly like a yacht. Also a seaside villa." "Look," she said sternly, "you know what I'm talking about. Sharing. I'm not interested in your greedy daydreams. I'm asking what everyone should have." "All right," Brad answered, "I understand. Let everyone have a yacht." "But how?" she asked lucidly with the first sign of a rational thought. "Don't bother me with that," he said. "There'll be a way, I'm sure. Just so everyone has a yacht. However, there is one more thing I would like." "What?" she asked. "2 yachts." Brad wrote that she looked rather unpleasant at that point, and he feared for his safety. Then she declared, "It's people like you who keep socialism from working." And Brad agreed. Yes, quite right. Perhaps if people like me were put away somewhere, socialism would have a chance. By now she was really glaring as she tried to think of an answer. Brad continued, "But there's still one problem. How many are there like me? Well, not as many as you think, she said, and walked away. And then Brad came up with a really appropriate last line. He wrote, "There she's wrong, and that's why she's a socialist." How right he is. Socialists ignore the side of man that is of the spirit. They can provide shelter, fill your belly with bacon and beans, treat you when you're ill, all the things that are guaranteed to a prisoner or a slave. They don't understand that we also dream. Yes, even of sometime owning a yacht. This is Ronald Reagan. Thanks for listening.
It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Let's shift gears away from the socialism thing. And I want to showcase, allow you to read here this op-ed that you have. It just published today at 1819news.com. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me, folks. For some reason, the people that own this building decided that they would be grinding down the parking lot. Yeah. They literally are grinding down stone after pouring into some cracks there. So concrete. Yeah.
Concrete refinishing. They were doing the leaf blower outside the window one day, too.
So there's a particular, nails on the chalkboard grinding sound that Troy might be wondering, why was Joey so perturbed during the whole break here? It's like, that! Why are we even here?
I'll go have a talk with him.
No, I got to finish their work. Whatever.
I'm just going to say hi. I'm just going to say hi.
You better hold your horses. So let's get into this. This is called America's Frontline is Our Backyard.
That's right. And Morgan Murphy, if you're listening, this is an honor of you, since you just espoused this recently on Newsmax, or on Fox, rather, on Kudrow. America's Frontline is Our Backyard, Joey, reviving the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine, President James Monroe's ironclad declaration in 1823 that the Western Hemisphere is off limits to foreign meddling and activities, which has been obviously underutilized since the end of World War II, is being redeployed, reminding all this that policy isn't just some dusty relic retired to the bends of history. It's the foundational firewall for American security. And in the late 2025, with President Trump's national security strategy now invoking a modern corollary to it, we're finally teaching that lesson again in the frontline classroom of real-world geopolitics. This isn't imperialism. It's common sense sovereignty with a Machiavellian motivation and a natural occurrence in the vacuum of foreign affairs. The Western Hemisphere's stability is the bedrock of our own prosperity and safety. When chaos reigns south of the border, migration surges, cartels thrive, drugs flood our streets, and America bleeds. The future of this hemisphere is being shaped right now, and it's time to fire a warning shot across the bow of state and non-state actors operating in our area of operations, AO. These adversaries aren't here for friendship. They're probing weaknesses, embedding influence, and setting the stage for long-term rivalry and shaping the battlefield. Iran is one of those prime culprits. The Islamic Republic, through proxies like Hezbollah, have cultivated deep networks in Latin America for years. Mosque, cultural centers in regions like the tri-border area of Brazil, Argentina, and Paraguay serve as more than places of worship. They're hubs for exporting military rhetoric, fundraising, and building ideological alliances, ultimately serving as command and control nodes for future terror attacks. Tehran leverages a diaspora of communities in ties with anti-American regime thematics, particularly in Venezuela, to anchor terrorist networks and spread instability. This isn't subtle diplomacy. It's a deliberate effort to ferment unrest and position Iran as a counterweight to U.S. influence in our own backyard. China's approach is slicker, but no less aggressive. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, Beijing has locked in over 20 Latin American and Caribbean nations with massive infrastructure investments, ranging from ports, roads, energy projects, and telecom. The Chancay megaport in Peru just went operational this June 2025. under Chinese control, drastically cuts shipping times to Asia, and gives Beijing strategic leverage over regional trade routes. Even as some Belt and Road Initiative momentum has slowed globally, China's trade dominance in this hemisphere continues to grow, surpassing U.S. volumes in key partners like Brazil and Peru. These aren't pure developmental aids. They're tools for economic dependency, access to critical infrastructure like lithium and rare earths, and potential dual-use infrastructure that could support military projection down the line. Russia rounds out the trio with an overt military muscle. Moscow's partnerships, especially with Venezuela, including billions in historical arms sales, ongoing training programs with hundreds of Russian advisors embedded, and licensed production of munitions like Kalashnikov rifles and Tula ammunition. Russian forces train Venezuelan troops in advanced drones, artillery, and special operations, while energy deals and sanction-evasive schemes keep the Maduro regime afloat. Periodic deployments of bombers and naval assets underscore the point. Russia is turning parts of South America into forward positions to challenge U.S. hegemony, much like great power games played elsewhere. Together, these incursions, along with Iran's ideological seeding, China's economic encirclement, Russia's military entrenchment, are actively shaping the future of our Western Hemisphere stability. Unchecked, they fracture regional alliances, empower corrupt authoritarian regimes, fuel narco-terrorism, and invite escalation that can spill over our borders in waves of migration, crime, and economic disruption. But here's the thunderous turnaround. America's first is on full display. President Trump's decisive policies, ramping up naval patrols in the Caribbean, intensifying counter-narc operations, securing the southern border, directly confronting foreign influence, all combined are a masterstroke of strategic focus. We're prioritizing our hemisphere, building genuine partnerships with reliable neighbors, and developing and delivering an unmistakable message. The America's our sphere of vital interest. No more diverting blood and treasure to distant conflicts while adversaries exploit ours near abroad. The revival of the Monroe Doctrine isn't about domination. It's about decided deterrence and a dominant defense. It's leadership that safeguards American security, promotes regional prosperity, and upholds sovereignty for all nations in the hemisphere who share our values. The classroom is in session, the adversaries are getting schooled, and with resolute American action, the Western Hemisphere will stand taller, more stable, and more secure. God bless the United States of America and our true allies in the Americas, and govern yourself accordingly to those who would challenge us on our home field.
You're here. And if folks want to read that for themselves, it is at 1819news.com. It's posted right now. It's live up on the website. Yeah. And this is something we've been talking about for months now, the last year, as we were tracking. It all started with J.D. Vance's speech at the Munich Security Conference. And it is, I think you're right, a masterstroke. It's not the thing, unfortunately, that wins you elections, especially in the midterms.
It's not glamorous, is it? No, it's not glamorous.
But I think Trump is putting in motion things that will affect American foreign policy for a generation.
Many years. Yep.
Now, this could all be undone if you don't get a Vance in there or a Rubio in there to continue that. But I like how they give you a nice reprieve as you're reading. Now they're back, grinding stone out there.
They are.
But no, I think Trump in that sense is going generally in the right direction. Now, on the issue of foreign policy, Trump just put this out on True Social, warning the Iranians. If Iran shots, he has a typo. Shots, he means shoots. If Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom,
we're locked and loaded,
the United States of America will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald John Trump, and this is as protests are continuing to spread across Iran, 20 plus cities, it looks like.
Drop them some weapons.
And you even have some action where it's not exactly peaceful protest, setting fire to a Revolutionary Guard Corps base. And it's what is it, the Bazij?
Yeah, it's Baji. Yeah,
Baji.
Yeah, it's pronounced Baji in Pashtun, I believe it is there. So,
It's a voluntary paramilitary force affiliated with the Revolutionary Guard and
like
often deployed to quell unrest. Oh, it's the fourth day of protest. So they're going, they know who's put them down before.
What they are is like the Fedayeen, Saddam's Fedayeen. They are locals that know the other people in the area, and they're bringing them in to try to control. They're like religious police. They're kind of a paramilitary gendarme, if you will.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I don't know. I've seen my problem with getting excited for this stuff is like I've seen this over and over again. The Green Revolution.
Arab Spring.
Yeah. And so like if it works out, great. I would love to visit Persia. I would love to see it renamed Persia. It's one of the, like, talk about a basket of history and and also a beautiful people and culture. It's just sad they've been taken over by that moronic and just invalid theocracy that is like draped over them.
That's what the Muslim Brotherhood wants everywhere.
We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Trump's threat, it makes me wonder what exactly does he do we have locked and loaded?
I think that right now BB's visit to America wasn't just to give him an award. It was they're planning some actions coming up, I believe. So
yeah, and it also seems Trump's style is he will use force, but it's not going to get deeply entangled into things. It's not like you're going to see full-on invasions or full-on commitments that are hard to extract yourself from, which is wise. At this point, I think it would be foolish to get involved in another war where you don't know exactly where it's going. It should be more, from over the horizon. We can hit
Beyond
you when you
horizon,
least suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
2729228 if you want to get in on the conversation. How about this? Let's hit a break, reset things, because our other guest commentator has shown up here. First, this part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, as you hear them grinding down stone in the parking lot, really putting me in a great mood.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
But Alabama Home Mortgage bringing you this part of the program, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon can help you out, whether you're looking to buy a new home here in the new year or you're looking to refinance your current home. It's a great place to actually make sure you're getting the best possible deal. They'll walk with you through the home buying process. All starts with pre-approval. They'll walk with you every step of the way, all the way to closing day. And with a refinance, whether you're looking to get credit card debt off your back or reconsolidate debt in general, or possibly bring down monthly overhead costs, or it could be you have all sorts of goals. You want to reinvest in yourself, your kids, however you want to use that money built up in your home. They can help you there at Alabama Home Mortgage, and they specialize in helping veterans. So if you're a veteran out there and you're not using the VA home loan programs, you're leaving money on the table.
Absolutely.
So get in touch with Alabama Home Mortgage today. Kick off the new year right with them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Madeline proved that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. When we come back, El Milner joining us in the studio, going to shift to a local focus for a moment.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Looking for the perfect night out? Head to Jack's Tavern, where the vibe is chill, the food is amazing, and the beer is freakishly cold. Happy Hour rocks Tuesday through Thursday, 5 till 7. Then stay for dinner. You get all the great flavor of Epicure in a laid-back tavern atmosphere with the full dinner menu served till 9. Friday is live music from 7 till 10, and Saturday is for football. An extensive wine list and 58 beers on tap. Yep, 58. So grab your crew, grab a pint, and make it to Jack's Tavern. Open Tuesday through Saturday.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and Troy Carrico's still here, and here, peace and quiet. Thank you for that, Mr. Carrico.
You know what? Negotiate. It's amazing what you can get done when you show politeness and just inquiry. The guy didn't even know. So,
and in studio with us, we have El Milliner rejoining the program. How you doing, El? Good to see you, sir.
Good to see y'all, man.
Good Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, heading into the new year.
Yeah, man. I had a good Christmas. You know, got all I wanted.
Everything
and more.
But you already had everything you wanted.
There it is.
When you keep your gratitude lower than your expectations, you find
there you go.
Have good days. Man.
Contentment every year.
Well, and you're still, even during the holiday, we're mixing things up online, I noticed.
I mean, a little bit. We had a little bit of action happening in the city. I mean, that's not unusual though.
No. Action. Is it good or bad action this time?
Unfortunately.
Bad publicity.
Unfortunately.
Right.
So there was this video that got brought to my attention, and this was last week. Man, time go by so fast. It's already Friday. So this was like around Friday, Saturday, I think, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a party that got held at a venue here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
And in the video, there looked to be, somebody told me otherwise afterward, but it looked like a young girl, maybe 11, 12 years old, up on a platform stage area, young boys surrounding her, almost as if, y'all ever been to Magic City?
Yes.
The Velvet Room in Atlanta. Yeah, I haven't been, but I've heard is.
I was a limited partner in the Velvet Room, Atlanta, with two guys. Yeah. Elliot Marr was the owner. I was there when Ludacris used to come in and all that.
Okay, so the setup is usually a female on a stage or platform.
There's usually there was two rows, like a stripping platform up there. Yeah,
and then the guys kind of sit around and tip and look
and encourage them.
There you go. Well, in this video, it looks like the young lady is on a platform putting on a performance for little boys, and you actually see a couple of boys with money in their hands. There's adults in the room.
Yeah.
Smoking vape, smoking. Well, I don't know who knows what they're smoking, right?
Yeah.
It's not a good look. So this video's out there. Of course, all these people are making every excuse in the world of they're just kids, let them have fun. Nobody had said anything. This video went like kind of semi-viral. It got 30,000 views.
What kind of party?
So,
what was this? Was it a wedding reception, or was it just
so apparently event? from a young lady who I guess is a mom to one of the kids in the video. Yeah. She was saying, "Oh, it's just a kid party." So I guess it's like a birthday party, maybe. Except usually you'll see like Power Rangers. I don't know, Bluey. What are kids watching these days? I don't know.
They're not
Bob the Builder or something,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't see any of that on the video. It's got the lights like a club.
Yeah, but don't you remember the twerking scene in Zootopia? Wait, sorry, that wasn't in that movie.
Wow. Oh well.
Well, it might be these days. You never know with entertainment.
Well, so I did a little bit of digging, asked some questions. Some people reached out to me and said, I know that venue. That is MGM Hookah Lounge, East Boulevard at Willie Road.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the owner, I'm not going to say the owner's name on the air. I did reach out to the owner. I haven't heard anything back. But Rondé Mitchell, councilman, this is your district, sir.
Get on.
This is L. Miller talking to you. I called you. I left your voicemail. I ain't got a call back. I understand you're busy because I know about the fire that happened. God bless those families. That's a lot to deal with. I get it. There's other things happening as well. We just had 2 homicides apparently last night.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a lot going on in the city. I get it. But we also need to find out, is it legal for kids to have a party at an adult venue where alcohol is sold? You know, it's an adult venue.
If the parents are there, I guess, and they run it.
So you know, but I just have questions, and then outside of all of that, we wonder why the city of Montgomery has just fallen apart and just has had degradation happen. It's because of things like this.
Absolutely. Starts at home.
These are kids. We're talking about 8, 9, 10-year-olds acting as adults.
Yeah.
Right?
They emulate.
They're emulating what adults
That's
do.
right.
And the adults in the room are encouraging the behavior. So I just had questions about that.
Where did the video come from?
So
because obviously it was somebody who was there.
Right. Yeah. So there's a song being played in the video. The guy who raps the song is Kobe Phillips, aka Cash Cow. People can look him up. But the song is his song, and it's saying all kind of vulgar things that cannot be repeated on the radio. There again, you have kids. This is kids.
Is it vulgar in like a violent or a sexual way? Maybe both combined together.
Yeah, the song is extremely sexual.
Okay.
Yeah. Pop this, drop that, rub this, rub that, touch that. Yeah.
Right.
So it's teaching our youth. They're emulating it. They're doing just what he's saying, man.
Exactly.
And the parents say it's okay because they're just kids having fun.
They're just kids having fun, man. No harm, no foul.
That was a good one.
Hey, nobody got shot. That's what I was told. Nobody got shot.
Is that the standard now?
That's the standard now.
No gun flash.
Yeah. Long as it's not a mass shooting.
Good time had by all.
Everything's good. As long as nobody dies, nobody gets stabbed or anything like that. It's a win.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it just was a glimpse. I saw it on your page. And I was like, what a glimpse into something that's just like foreign to me. I'm like, what in the world? Because they do look like young kids. Now, you were told by some folks otherwise.
Yeah, they said that the young lady is an attendee of an HBCU.
Okay.
I'm like, where?
Yeah,
like, what? I mean,
she's a prodigy. Maybe she's 11 years old getting her doctorate.
Man, I mean, hey, I mean, maybe my eyes are just, I got like dad eyes or something.
Yeah, maybe.
She looks extremely young to me, but I mean,
you're probably right though.
But it doesn't make it any better. So let's say she's 19, 18, 20. So she's still twerking, dancing, dropping it, popping it in front of little 8, 9-year-old boys who I'm not going to change on that. Those are kids.
Yeah, those are kids.
Yeah,
and you know by the fact that parents have reached out and said they're just
exactly
kids. There's kids having fun.
They didn't deny the kids.
That's right.
Man, it's just it's a little snapshot, literally, of like some of what goes on in Montgomery that not everybody sees.
Yeah, a little bit behind the curtain.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question you brought up for the councilman, for Councilman Mitchell, about like, is it legal, like at the local level, to rent out a place that has a liquor license to kids? I don't know off the top of my head if there is adult folks, and as long as there's no liquor being served, probably, but you can rent it as a private thing. But still the whole image of it, like just from the little snapshot, I didn't like it one bit. I didn't like it at all.
Imagine if it was quote unquote white kids that were in the establishment, right? And they're twerking, dropping, popping, and adults are around encouraging it. Imagine all the people who watched that video that I put out. Not that I put out. First of all, people I reposted what was already put out to the world. But imagine if it was the flip side. The people that are mad at me would not be saying anything if they're just doing this. They'd be saying, look at those people over there. Look at thugged out.
Look at
whatever.
these white kids. I'm telling
There
you,
you go.
that's in West Virginia. That happens in West Virginia, not here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm trying to be
No,
funny.
you better
But you're right. You're going to get
In
the
Iowa somewhere.
You're going to get
There's
the
always
Iowa.
there's freaky house parties all over.
I
But
know
it's one
there
thing for
is.
teenagers to sneak, like teenagers to sneak into a house party
not
when
12-year-old.
one parent's maybe look the
Right.
other way, other parents don't know. But when it's like an actual hosted party and stuff,
Yeah.
you kind of go, "What in the world?" Is
I mean,
going on
hey,
there?"
and I would like to know because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Somebody posted the video. Send it to me. Send it to me. I'm very accessible. L Milliner on Facebook. Please send me a video. If you have a video of kids 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds that are so-called quote unquote white doing the same exact action we
I
saw,
wanna see it.
please send it my way. I'll talk about that too.
It comes down
But
to
I
family
bet y'all
values,
can't
and-
find it.
It's family values. It does. And listen, but if it were white, Spanish, it don't matter. It's
Yeah.
a lack of control.
But see,
of children.
And see, I'm bringing it up because there's a complete cultural divide.
Oh yeah,
it's a cultural divide.
There
are
rift,
unique
a rift, yeah.
aspects of the culture we have in Montgomery compared to cultures of other
That's not
people.
traditional black value. I
Yeah.
say that all the time. I say
Yeah.
that. I have lived in DC. That's this thug life, this dirty South, the dirty South life is much different. But then again, you live out where I got good country folk out there, and they're as good as gold, man. You know, they look after my place, I look after theirs. There's
Yeah.
something wrong inside that's festering in these city environments.
That's right. That's right.
Steve Reed's on it though, right?
Hey, they say he's on it, man. They say he's on it. If he can stay. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah,
if I
well,
go
we gotta
that
hit
far
a-
with it. I don't know if I can go that far. Y'all know y'all know the allegations that's going on out there. Y'all keep sending me stuff now. I'm like, I've known this for a while now.
no.
I just hadn't said nothing about it.
I'm not going to go there. Let's not go there.
I'm glad you brought that up.
We do have to hit a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about how's Montgomery doing in terms of crime.
Yeah.
I mean, we're par for the course from last year with homicides, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Right on track. Huh?
Yes, 61 and 24.
Right on. All that talk of homicides are down.
So what was last year's total numbers?
61.
Okay.
And in 2024 it was
61, 2024, 2025, 61, 61.
Whatever happened to 62 and 63 or 60?
Yeah. No.
That's terrible.
How
That's
about 50? We ain't had 50 since.
Well, I wonder when
Reed's
the last time that was. We can talk about
We'll
that.
get to it.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Are you getting ready to put your home up for sale? Remember the 6 Ps. Prepare your home by deep cleaning, painting where needed, yard work, decluttering the inside. Present your home to the market through the experienced realtor who knows how to market the home and get it sold. Price the home at fair market value of what the home should bring in today's market. Your realtor can guide you in pricing the home to sell, not sit. Pay for part of the closing cost and provide a 1-year warranty. Buyers today don't have the down payment and all the cost of buying a home without some help. Prepare to look at offers from the marketplace and accept the best offer for your needs. And 6, place your trust in experienced professionals, including your realtor, closing attorney, and mortgage company. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. And remember, we are now hiring agents, both new and experienced. Call me today for an interview. Bo Goodson, 221-2883.
This is Jennifer Pestricelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting, and we're powering up our sales team. If you're a go-getter who loves meeting people, closing deals, and helping local businesses win, this is your moment. You'll develop broadcast and digital advertising campaigns, prospect for new clients, and manage your own list of accounts, all in a fast-paced, creative environment. Outside sales experience is a huge plus. Media experience is even better. Ready to level up your career? Send me your resume today by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the way as an approaching frontal system brings rain back into the forecast. Today will be a warmer day, high 66, risk of showers beginning this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms becoming likely tonight, and first half of the day, Saturday, a few stronger storms not out of the question. Breezy tonight, low 58. Saturday's high up to about 68. Look for improvement by Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks dry but cooler with a high temperature up near 60. And we've got some warmer days ahead next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The holidays may be over, but the bills don't have to weigh you down. Let ASE Credit Union help lighten your financial load with our special post-holiday loan options. Visit us online at yourasecu.com or stop by one of our branches to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back, folks. In a little while, we'll get back to the false gospel of socialism, though I think there are definitely some folks here locally in Montgomery, Alabama, that would love to see what Mamdani's doing here in Alabama. They just know they can't. Not to the same extent. It's like even some Democrats around here be like, hey, no, we're not going for all that funny business. Seeing more and more images, we'll also get to this out of Iran. More and more folks on the ground there. And apparently the crackdown is inevitable. It's already happening in certain places. And Iran orders banks to prep for system-wide collapse.
Oh, my God.
A leaked document from their central bank. So we got a whole other hour after this, but we'll get into more of that stuff. Let's focus some more here locally in Montgomery, Alabama. Just to reiterate, in 2024, we had 61 homicides here in the city of Montgomery. And in 2025, the year that just ended, we had 61 homicides. Once again, and this is the point I've made over and over again in my writing, that you can be considerate and be charitable and we're trying our best. We gave raises and incentive packages and all this stuff, but I have noticed, because there were bad years under Todd Strange, but what I've noticed is the baseline has gone up for things like homicides. And I think there are a lot of folks who just don't trust the numbers when it comes to other sorts of crime as well. So you were mentioning to me off air, again, Elle Milliner here in the studio with us. You were mentioning off air, Elle, that Birmingham is fully staffed in their police department?
According to the city of Birmingham, Alabama, all right, as we welcome 2026, we are starting the new year strong with a fully staffed Birmingham Police Department. This achievement marks a powerful new beginning for our department and our city, setting the tone for a year of strength, service, and continued progress. Thank you, Birmingham, for your support. That's straight from Birmingham, city of Birmingham.
Now,
Birmingham,
I'm wondering, though,
please.
are they up to funny business with their numbers?
Now,
what's fully staffed mean?
Now, for my research, previously, they had been budgeted for around 1,000 something officers, right? It used to be a bigger city.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're neck and neck with us, population-wise. But I'm thinking what they did is they probably, when they did their new budget, they just dropped that number down. Let's drop that down to 800 officers, maybe something like that. Now they had about 500 or so, so they still had to hire a few hundred or so. So even if they did drop the number down, they still had to hire hundreds of officers. Something that Montgomery hasn't even been able to do.
Right. Because what's the number that we don't know an exact number from the city of Montgomery.
Right.
But they won't say.
And when they're asked directly, they don't give an answer.
No.
Now, if they don't give an answer, people, please deduce that, hey, the number, it must be horrible. Right? Because even if it was close to fully staffed, they'd probably say, we're 70%, 75. We're almost there, know.
Right. And it's also how many folks do you actually have on the ground out and about, on patrol at a given moment. And, I'm not necessarily knocking the Chief Gray Boys or anybody that are actively working. Thank you all for working. But it seemed very obvious from that awful mass shooting that happened that with big time events, when you need crowd control, when you need a lot of presence, you have multiple events going around the city, And then just also some like the extra police work you can do, because a lot of the folks that cause the problems, people know. And in fact, one of the guys they arrested for not just one murder, but 18 murders in Birmingham. This is one guy.
That's right.
And
one man.
And you got to think about like the armed robberies, the burglary here in the city, like the homicides in the city. How much of it go back to like similar roots, if not the same exact people?
Exactly.
And this, of course, the city can in good faith go, well, the judges keep letting them out. Okay, fair enough. The state needs to get on that and get on it quick if they haven't already. But I am wondering, why are our force levels still so low, despite the pay raises, despite, and what I come back to, and I'd like y'all's opinion on this, is it has much more to do with not the quantitative, your numbers are not there because the qualitative leadership is not there. And in the sense that there is still a mentality in the law enforcement community around these parts of the leadership doesn't have your back if you, so to speak, screw up, or that it's just not, even if it's not even about the top of the leadership chart, it's just like the morale's not there. Like you've seen the problems that go on for years now. Like, why would you want to go work? You go work in a different town close, or go work in Birmingham, for instance.
That's right.
And this is, I guess, continuing to bite us in the butt where our numbers are still low. And again, our baseline of homicides is way up.
Way up. Folks, so a couple months ago, I posted about Tallahassee Police Department.
Yeah.
Tallahassee is a very, like a mirror image to Montgomery.
It's very similar.
It's the capital.
It's very similar. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Got a college in it. Yeah.
There you go.
It's got a lot of
Population
projects and issues and stuff, but it is. It's that's a very good. I always use Jackson, Mississippi, but I think Tallahassee might be closer.
So on the negative side, Jackson is very good.
It's kind of
used. Tallahassee, I use that as the positive of where we
what
could
it could
be.
look like. What it could look like. Yeah.
They have a police chief that's been the chief for several years. Right.
Okay.
He's been there, I think, about 6 or 7 years now.
Interesting.
He was with Tallahassee PD for like 20, 30 years.
Okay.
Stability, consistency, right? And they are like 90-something% staffed, have been that way, even through the plandemic, as I like to call it.
That's great.
All of that, right? They still maintain like over 90% capacity.
So when you ask somebody to do something that is perilous, that is thankless, whether it's the military, whether it's a first responder, and your leadership is derelict and doesn't have consistency and a foundation, you are not going to attract anyone, or you won't be able to keep people once you get them there. And that's what we're up against.
And we had a chief. Chief Finley was here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know people had their
Opinions,
doubts and opinions about him. Now, it's just odd that when Reed got in office, he was forced to resign. Right?
It was
there's more to
that's like Strange hires him. Finley's there for Finley is there through 2020. I remember him calling my show talking about the curfew, so to speak. And I was like, what if I want to visit my lady? He's like, I'm not worried about that. I'm like, thank you for saying that publicly, Chief. And you know, all the Black Lives Matter stuff where Birmingham did have stuff set on fire and some nonsense, but we didn't have it here in Montgomery. Right. And then about a year after that, you started seeing police officers go up in front of the city council, just start airing grievances. And you're like, what in the world is this? And that's when Finley soon resigned.
So because Reed put pressure, from what I understand, and I read the lawsuit, pressure was put on Chief Finley by Reed to kind of target certain officers, reprimand certain officers. And Finley wasn't buying. He wasn't going for that. He wanted to treat everybody the same, no matter what you look like, where you come from. He stood on that. Well, Reed's administration lied and said that he broke some ethical guidelines and whatnot.
Yes.
They ended up having to take that back. This is all public documentation. All right. So therein lies the issue of the morale. You have him come in and you have him target this chief, force him out. Of course, other officers are seeing what's happening. They know what's going on, right? And of course, they start leaving. They say, why would I want to work for a guy like that?
Yep.
Then he brings in, Chief Albert.
Daryl Albert.
Why? He had issues in New Orleans that he didn't take care of.
They're pretty obvious.
You just transfer that right on over here.
And he ended up what? He does the same thing here on his way out the door.
Exactly. Same thing. So
what could possibly go wrong?
What? Right.
What could possibly go wrong with this guy?
It's ridiculous.
It's a lack of leadership all the way up to the city leadership. Look, who's the police department? Who does the police chief answer to? He answers to the people and to the city trustees and management. But this Steve Reed. Steve Reed sets the standard.
Yeah.
That's the leader of this area and all of its organs.
And who should run the MPD? Who should run MPD?
The chief. A chief should run it. And
Right.
He should have the
So
backing. Yeah.
why is our mayor repeatedly saying he runs MPD?
Because he's a sociopath. I think he's an arrogant. He's got little man syndrome. I'm sorry, he does.
Yeah.
He's got little Napoleonic syndrome.
Look, Reed, man, you making us look bad out here, man. Look, I'm offended the fact that you're out here making short people look this way.
No, you're
All
nothing
right?
like that. You exude confidence and you exude. No, you do. I met him. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell this story, Joey, because I think it's funny. I'm at the Lions Club broil, Low Country broil with the Admiral, and I meet Steve Reed for the first time. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, you need to get a fashion consultant. Those short pants are too short, too tight, and that jacket looks like you outgrew it, like when you were 12. And I go. He goes. I've heard you on Joey's show. I go, Mayor, you sounded bigger on the radio. I said, walk away. He goes like this. And Admiral goes, okay, Troy, you can leave now.
Welcome to the new year, Montgomery. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Let's go to line one real quick here. You're on there. Who's this?
It's Simpler Days.
Hey, Simpler Days.
Simpler Days.
The law enforcement problem is as simple as it can be. It's about leadership. And until that gets fixed, then nothing is going to change. Have you ever watched the good sheriff down in Polk County, Florida, around Tampa?
Yeah, he's a great one, ain't he?
Yeah, Sheriff Grady.
Yeah.
He's an entertaining.
Yeah, he never, ever passes an opportunity up to praise his personnel.
You're darn right, brother.
He's always patting them on the head.
That's what you
He's
do.
always coaching them up. And that's why he has no vacancies.
Yep.
And that's why they feel that they can go out and just simply do their job. And if they make an honest mistake, they're going to be held accountable, but they're going to be backed up also.
Yep.
And he says that over and over, unlike the mayor of Montgomery, who breaks out in a rash, in hives, if he has to say anything positive about law enforcement.
Yep.
He won't even attend the police memorial service for fallen officers. It rubs his skin the wrong way because he doesn't appreciate, or is pro law enforcement. And it filters down through the ranks to the rank and file. They come to the FOP on a regular basis asking for help about the morale problem, about having to be overworked because they're understaffed, and that a minor infraction is treated like a major complaint. And they're constantly being chastised for simply what should be a complaint handled through the normal channels, a written reprimand, or a coaching opportunity to redirect an officer is treated as a major complaint and goes in the officer's file.
Mm-hmm.
Until that changes, you're not, because officers across this state, across this country, they talk amongst themselves. They're not dummies. They know where to go, where they can police, and the person has their back, and they won't be hung out to dry. And until that changes, gentlemen, we keep barking up the same tree.
You're 100% right. And I slowly, if folks have been listening to me for years, I've been more than willing to give, especially when he's brand new and through the COVID year, Mayor Reed, the benefit of the doubt. And then, talking to folks like City Councilor Szymanski about, okay, well, we'll get the pay raises, we'll do the incentive packages, help you do a down payment for a home and all these things. Like, okay, cool. Let's get all that going. And then, I don't talk about this every day. Like I really don't. But then we check in every few months and it's not better. And as soon as you think it might be getting better, oh, wait, some big thing happens.
That's right.
And it's just, it's happened now every few months for years. And it's incredibly disappointing. And I think you're right. It's not a money thing. It's not, it is a numbers thing. But the reason the numbers are so low is because there's a qualitative lack of leadership.
It's institutional. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's something that didn't start overnight, and you're never going to, completely do away with crime. You're always going to have homicides, but you can get the faucet down to a drip.
Yep.
And that comes through leadership, and that's what this city needs. And with the sad part about it, there are people within this city that could fix it. And if the city council would demand that, and if the citizens of Montgomery would demand that, but until then, it's going to be same old stuff. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Got to hit a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You officially survived the holidays, but the same can't really be said for your carpet. Instead of playing What's That Mystery Stain, why not ring in the new year while you bring in new flooring from Prattville Carpet? Get unbeatable prices during their New Year's sale, and when you purchase Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet, ask about the free upgrade to a free pet pad.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Step into the new year with new floors. Shop PrattvilleCarpet.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Let's go to the phones real quick. Talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Joey. How are you?
Oh, we're good. Talking about all the great leadership in Montgomery and the fruits thereof. But let's talk about what's the score there today at Cohen's.
Whew, the score is way better than it was last night.
Oh, no.
That was good.
Man, I tell you what, it's like who showed up or who didn't show up.
Yeah.
It was a pretty ugly thing. It would have, well, I would say it would be a good time to be an Auburn fan, but
it was good last night.
You're not going that far, are you? You're not going that far, Mike.
But anyway, we looked horrible.
Yeah, okay.
And we deserved every part of that butt whooping we got. No.
Would it look any better on one of your high definition, incredible TVs from Sony?
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have played any better, but you would have seen more details. You would have seen the guy really did not. He walked the line, trying to stay in bounds as far as he could.
I mean,
yeah, it was tough, but yeah, we're doing good here. We had Michael Jackson went out and he installed couple of TVs that a nice lady bought from us, and then he got some other TVs installed that Chris had set up for, and had to build a false wall and everything, get everything built into the man's cabinet. So everything's been rocking and rolling. My appliance people, it's like everybody comes in for a washing machine. 90% of those people are actually looking for a speed queen. So that's good. Everybody's buying a better product and going to get better service from that Speed Queen than they will everything else.
Well, folks, you got to get by there for the new year. And of course, whether it's on the electronic side, TVs, audio solutions, and then also the appliance side. And don't forget all the grilling options. It's always awesome. So y'all get by Cohen's today. It's 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with that Joey fella.
And the other cool thing about everything that we do is that we're going to have the same price as Best Buy for the same model.
But then much better service.
But we're also going to have service.
That's right.
Superior and we're going to have better delivery with our people. You know, nothing, we don't farm anything out. It's all us.
Well,
y'all come see us.
Appreciate you, Michael.
Right,
and
yes,
I'm sorry about yesterday. I watched that too. It was.
I can hear it in your voice, Joey.
I'm so sorry about that.
he's being very sincere. I can tell too, Mike.
Well, appreciate it, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.
We got to hit this top of the hour break. Be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Investigators now say sparkling candles that were used on champagne bottles likely triggered the New Year's Eve bar fire in Crans-Montana, Switzerland. After sparks hit a sound-absorbing material in the ceiling, the blaze then tore through La Constellation, killing 40 people and injuring 119 others. Trading began for 2026 today, following the New Year's holiday on Wall Street. The S&P 500 ended last year up more than 16%, the NASDAQ up 20% for all of 2025, and the Dow up nearly 13%. Investors hoping for more of the same this year. Right now, the Dow is up by 259 points. Weakened demand and rising competition pushed Tesla out of the top spot for global EV sales, and it was usurped by a Chinese electric vehicle maker. This is SRN News.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. Fearless conversations and sharp analysis of the stories that matter. It's the Aaron Mullins Show, now available on the Salem Podcast Network.
I do find it a little bit off-putting when someone has a history of calling others out for being complicit via their silence to then occupy that space themselves. The hypocrisy is the issue I have.
The Aaron Mullins Show on the Salem Podcast Network. Subscribe today on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the way as an approaching frontal system brings rain back into the forecast. Today will be a warmer day, high 66, risk of showers beginning this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms becoming likely tonight, and first half of the day, Saturday, a few stronger storms not out of the question. Breezy tonight, low 58. Saturday's high up to about 68. Look for improvement by Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks dry but cooler with a high temperature up near 60. And we've got some warmer days ahead next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
1819 News.
An audit that was conducted by the Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts is completed and involved the Alabama Department of Veteran Affairs that was being led by Commissioner Kent Davis. Davis was fired back in 2024 from that position by Governor Ivey after he filed an ethics complaint against one of Ivey's cabinet members. The governor claimed that Davis had mishandled funds from the American Rescue Plan Act when he was ADVA commissioner. However, the recent audit found no examples of such misuse of funds by Davis when he led the ADVA, nor were there examples of significant non-compliance with state laws and regulations. The audit covered the department's finances from 2020 to 2024. Davis served in the ADVA from 2019 to 2024. Davis responded to the contents of this audit, saying not many state agencies get a no discrepancy conclusion from state auditors. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
A father of a missing 5-year-old boy in Walker County has now been arrested for possession of explosive devices. The explosives were found inside the home after a search was conducted regarding the report of the child being missing. 5-year-old Jonathan Boley was last seen by his 6-year-old brother, who says the little boy crossed a fence line with their black Labrador and then went into the woods. Walker County authorities are using helicopters and thermal imaging to search for that child. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
And I appreciate that. Let's go to Dick Brubaker. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, sir.
Man, you all are getting off to a great start. I've lived in Montgomery. I mean, I was born in Texas, but my parents moved to Montgomery when I was about 2, but I found them anyway, and I've lived here ever since. And I just hate to see what's happening to this town I grew up in and raised my kids in. And, you know, as everybody I know complains about MPD, but like at the event where all those people got shot downtown,
yeah,
you know, they were told to stay in their cars. I mean, and if you've got the chief of police and the mayor telling the policemen not to police, you know, you're going to have a lot of bad things happen. And, you know, I like Mayor Reed. I mean, every time I've spoken to him, he has been nothing but nice to me. But I just wish he'd be the kind of mayor he promised to be. Because, like, I'm telling you, like, on things like the school system, which is what's burying this town,
mm-hmm.
You know, young people just don't want to live here. You know, he said that he wanted to be a transformative mayor, and nobody is going to fix Montgomery Public Schools unless the mayor gets involved. The mayor is the indispensable man when it comes to fixing the schools. And I just haven't heard a word from him about it.
Well, and you know, you've been not only living in Montgomery, but we're in politics for a long time and also a business owner. Correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, when there is a vacuum of leadership, and, you know, as much as my comrades here will throw barbs, I've always been somewhat good terms with Steve. And there was a time there with the Donna Watkins Jr. thing. I might have called him a jackass. I apologize for that. But
I don't.
But at this point, when Montgomery doesn't have proper leadership, it seems like this town definitely reverts back to we have our different little cliques to where folks aren't rowing in the right direction. And that's why you need a mayor that can kind of take all those tensions and make everybody at least focus and go in a particular direction. It seems like he's just not been able to do that.
Well, I don't think that he's been willing to take the political risk, because if you Montgomery is losing population because of the school system.
Yes, it is.
And if you're going to fix the schools and save the city, you're going to have a city school system, which the mayor can ask the legislature to create a city school system, just like Pike Road did.
Yeah.
Let the mayor appoint the school board. We already know that under its current governance, Montgomery schools are failing. And if you have a city system, you can actually make changes. And only the mayor can get that ball rolling, nobody else.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to say unsayable things like, you want to fix the schools? Great. You're going to have to get rid of the magnet schools.
Man,
I'm sorry. It's just the truth.
Man, I don't think that Mayor Reed being in position as mayor is going to do our school system any good. Any good.
No, well, I got news for you. The school system is being governed by a school board that has proven over the last 3 decades that it cannot make a good decision.
Right, but all you be swapping is the rich for the devil.
No, if the mayor is the mayor's not on the hook for public schools right now. Nobody's looking to the mayor because he didn't have any control. In a city school system, the mayor would appoint the school board members. They'd serve at his pleasure. He'd be 100% on the hook if the schools are bad. And that's how you get politicians' attention. You put them on the hook. You make them responsible. And it would take a mayor with a lot of courage to want that responsibility. And, the mayors previous to Mayor Reed knew that the solution was to have a city school system, but none of them had the courage or had the faith to even give it a try. And I just think it's just so risky that nobody wants to touch it. But if we don't touch it, Montgomery's going away. Montgomery's going to turn into Selma.
You're a business owner, sir, and I was tasked. I was the terminal manager for UPS Heavy for international freight for 4 years before I left there and retired. And you know what I noticed, Dick? I had a hard time recruiting people out of state to come to be a salesperson. Right. They ain't coming here once they start understanding the dynamics of, I got to put my kid in private school. That's going to cost me an extra. Exactly. And you're right. Your family has been a stable here for us. And
also, I get the sense that there are people about my age who, aren't a miserable bachelor like me. They have multiple kids. They are young couples, and they are living in Montgomery. And I have a suspicion that they don't feel heard at all, when those should be your folks that's the roots you're growing a future city out.
That's true.
Well, and the thing is, when all their kids are school age, they're going to be thinking about moving out to Pike Road or moving up to Auburn.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a minimum of $10,000 a year per kid for private school.
Yep.
Yeah. The only schools worth anything in Montgomery, public schools are the magnet schools. So outside of that.
Well, the thing is, the magnet schools, though, aren't done by lottery, not in real life.
Yeah.
Let's face it, the magnet schools are a big fraud. I mean, if you're a big executive at Hyundai or a high-ranking military officer, or somebody important in Montgomery, your kid will 100% of the time win the lottery, go to the magnet.
Yep.
But if you're just a regular person, good luck.
Yeah.
You better hope they're not a new group of Hyundai employees that want.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I guess
thankfully mine are in magnet school, and they better keep the grades up to stay in there too. Because
well, and I was going to say, maybe folks could.
Magnet school. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say a quick aside. Maybe if folks are desperate enough, they could convert to Catholicism, get the discount from Montgomery Catholic.
Well, I'm telling you, Montgomery owes a giant debt of gratitude to the parochial system here, because Montgomery Catholic and St. Jude used to do it too. I wish the city of St. Jude would restart their high school.
Yep.
But the Catholic schools are the only people providing high quality private education at a cost that people could maybe think about affording. But outside of that,
right.
I mean, you're just at sea. And I'm going to tell you that, I'm going to hang up. I know you got people that want to talk to you, but the other thing that one of these days y'all need to do a show on this boondoggle, this West Alabama corridor. It's going to take 2/3 of all the gas tax money.
It's crazy.
For the foreseeable future. I mean, Tommy Tuberville's going to have no money in the kitty to do anything because Kay Ivey is going to spend it all.
Don't get me started on this.
Yeah, and then
no, I want to get you started.
brother, listen. She's done more damage to this state. Do you know that, Dick? Do you know that Mississippi is passing us up in fiber optic and everything? We are not able to attract business here. Nobody wants to come here. There's a lot of issues, and starts
of course, and they'll come here if they're doing semi-skilled, but tech jobs, no way. And this. Bill, the way that makes me mad about this West Alabama corridor, highway or parkway or whatever they're calling it, is the people that contribute the least of the gas tax revenue are going to get the lion's share of it spent where nobody lives. I mean, Mobile is dying to do infrastructure around the port.
You ain't kidding, brother.
No, we're not going to give them any money. We're going to spend it all in Dallas County. I mean, come on.
So this came to me, Dick, this came to me from the Admiral, and the Admiral Davis told me that he met with one of the local groups of representatives and senators down there state. And I won't say any names, but they were told by the governor's office when they wanted to do an economic development thing down there 6 months ago, you never supported us in the governor's mansion. Why are we going to do anything for you? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Listen, I totally believe you. I don't have any trouble believing that. And if you look at the appointment she's made, her reason is, they're from where I grew up. I mean, that's
a great reason
she's giving for a point.
Yeah, right.
Like that makes any sense. And this state, I mean, if you look at, we've never had more revenue flowing into the state than we have at present.
Right.
But the current administration is tying that revenue up. So whoever is governor next is going to have a hard time doing anything. And it just is crazy. It's not.
Yes, it is. And it strikes me as like just the last gasps of institutions that have, in my opinion, worn out their welcome. And hopefully we do get leadership changes, not just in the city or better leadership, but at the state level as well. We'll see. I really appreciate you calling and appreciate the time, Dick.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
No, I enjoyed the program. Thanks for letting me be on.
You need to call in more often. He's a great voice.
He's
man.
awesome.
I love him.
Yeah, I like Dick.
Yeah, he's a
cool guy.
And he's got perspective from being there
He
on the House side and the Senate side at the state level. And being a business owner for all his years in the car dealership business, he sees a lot of folks, interacts with a lot of the community. And yes, he does care. At the end of the day, he cares. And also we saw over Admiral Davis was sharing that state examiners did an audit of his time there at the Alabama Board of Veterans Affairs.
I'm getting ready to do a story.
And they found no problems at all?
Yeah, basically what it was this, and we already knew this. Remember a couple months ago, we talked about the Alabama Doge organization.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of them? They're the
ACEs.
Yeah. Basically came out with a report saying, everything looked pretty good on our end. And in fact, the problems are in the mental health department over there. And they came unglued, and then they just came out. And what they did, and his attorney was all over it, basically exonerated the admiral from anything or any improprieties that happened and placed it back on mental health. And that's going to be a tough road for them to maintain, I guess.
There's a lot that, let's say, Coach Tuberville
has to clean up.
If Governor Tuberville becomes a thing, is going to have to clean up. This latest thing that came out, I guess, on the first of the years, the Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts released an audit last week of the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. It found, quote, no significant instances of noncompliance during the tenure of fired Commissioner Kent Davis. So, going to that,
we're getting ready to do a story on it. So more to follow. Yep.
Ivey, the governor, maintained that under Davis's leadership, they mishandled American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds.
$7 million.
But the State Board of Veterans Affairs Committee approved a report at a meeting October 9, 2024, stating Davis and ADVA did nothing wrong with the funds. However, according to the audit of the department from 2020 through 2024 released last week, quote, no non-consumable personal property in the custody of the department was compared with the property records maintained by the Property Inventory Control Division of the State Auditor's Office as required by blah, 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 section code. No discrepancies were noted. Tests performed during the examination period did not disclose any significant instance of noncompliance with applicable laws and regulations. So Davis recently told 1819 News, we always prided ourselves on stewardship and our meticulous nature. Yeah.
Here's the bigger question. Where in the hell is that $7 million that he gave over to mental health for them to listen? I have reason to believe, and I'm going to say this, and this is my opinion because I've done some research. That money, that $7 million, was turned into a gay, lesbian, transgender program that the Biden administration was pushing because we did some research. And if you did it, they got matching funds for it. So they'd get another $7 million. And they took it away from veteran suicide prevention and gave it to some freaks.
What a mess. So, yeah, here's the dynamic, though. Going back to the mayor, I have a sense this is just coming. And it's going to also be Woodfin in Birmingham. You're already seeing it line up if you're going to have Doug Jones and Philip Insler. It's not going to be about getting things done. Tommy Tuberville is going to be the perfect foil for them.
Certainly is.
To go out and not necessarily make life better here for Alabamians or Montgomeryans, but to look good on the national stage. Because here, look at this. This is from Andrea Tice. She doesn't normally do stories at 1819. She's normally doing their 1 minute, 2 minute news. It's
news
great.
Cycle,
it's really, really great stuff what Andrea Tice does. But this story, here's the headline. Out-of-state sources exceed local sources in Act Blue campaign contributions for Democrats Terry Sewell and Shamari Figures. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
All the dollar.
And this is, people are wondering, like, I don't think Mayor Reed is a sociopath. He said that earlier. I'm trying, and I'm not like trying to say, oh, how dare you insult him. I'm saying I'm trying to understand what's the problem here. And I think some of the problem, especially with policing, is that the audience that's being played to, some of it's local, but a lot of it ain't local at all.
Right.
So it's plain to some folks who don't like the police being, ready to go. That's definitely here locally, but there's a lot of signaling to national institutions and other sort of movements. And that to me kind of explains some of the behavior.
Well, the reason I called him a sociopath, and let me, Mayor, if you're listening, your behavior is frenetic and it is very, very reactive. It is not proactive, and it is a passive aggressive way that he approaches things, and he displaces blame on everything.
And an example of this is when he did his podcast and he says, these social media people are sensationalizing crime.
Right.
Like, so the crime is what it is.
Right.
People are dying. People are getting robbed. People are getting assaulted. It's real.
Yeah. What do you want him to say? You know, I mean, no, do you think they're reporting the truth? And I guess my thing is this. Steve Reed looks like he probably could do it, but it's like he almost is intentionally screwing the pooch here. I can't explain it. There's a weird feeling about how he runs
and it goes back to what Joey's talking about with these the signaling to the national.
Well, he has national aspirations, is what he's got,
and why he brought in the idea of the review board, right? The citizen review board of the police,
and also what the human rights board.
All that crap.
That's national signaling. Like, he brought it. He mentioned it at a time when the whole defund police thing was going on.
That's right. Yep.
You've got all the the uprisings and all of that is just in lock and step with whatever DC's want.
Right.
Well, remember what he said when he first became mayor. The old Montgomery's gone away now. I'm in charge.
That's right.
It's a new future. And so he is a bit of a, you know what he is? He's a narcissist. I'm sorry. He's a narcissist, not a sociopath. I think he's a narcissist.
Oh, that comes with the territory of politicians.
The jury's still out there.
Now, I want to read this just straight up here. This is from Andrea Tice. With the new year underway, the Department of Justice has yet to release the results of its investigation into the Democratic Party's fundraising platform, Act Blue. Act Blue money, along with out-of-state donations, has raised questions about the agenda and loyalties of Alabama's two Democratic members of Congress, U.S. Representatives Terry Sewell and Shamari Figures. By April 2026, it will be a whole year since President Trump called Act Blue, quote, an illegal scam, through which the Democratic Party has cheated in political races and foreign countries have potentially interfered with and influenced elections. While the Federal Election Commission records donation numbers for a federal campaign, it does not receive any information from Act Blue about who is donating to that platform. No names, no states, no ID. This makes it unclear whether donations are from Alabama, out of state, or foreign entities. So I'm looking at a chart here.
Yep.
This chart I'm looking at includes two Republican House members whose congressional districts are adjacent to those of Sewell and Figures. Rather than Act Blue, U.S. Representatives Gary Palmer and Barry Moore received donations through the Win Red platform. The Republican donation platform differs significantly from Act Blue in that Win Red has yet to face fraud accusations from a sitting president, a state attorney general like Ken Paxton of Texas, 3 congressional committees, and investigative journalists. The disparities in donations influence is marked. Moore and Palmer are much closer to the 50% margin in maintaining Alabama-based contributions, and not so for Sewell and Figures. The combined contributions from Act Blue and out-of-state donations account for 88 and 80% respectively of Sewell and Figures' 2024 campaign war chest.
Wow.
My God. So I'm looking at this chart for Terry Sewell. Donation total from 2023 to 2034. They're doing a big open
spread.
window. She's raised like 3.6 million. Out of state, 2.7.
Wow.
Yeah, Shamari Figures
outside influence.
Follow the money, people.
That's right,
Shamari's a little better in the sense that he raised 3.6 as well, and 1.8 from out of state. So yeah, this is
outside influence.
But then a lot of these are also from Act Blue. So if you look at Sewell, for instance, it says about 12%, 13% of her donations were from Act Blue, and you don't know if that's in-state, outstate, where that's coming from.
We don't know where it came from.
And 30% of Figures stuff came from Act Blue. So, this is how she gets to the 88% for Sewell and 80% of Figures campaign war chest were either from Act Blue or out-of-state donation.
Wow.
And it's just like, that gum. And this gets into this world of nothing is actually local anymore. And it's affecting all of us.
It's a big machine
Yes.
behind the scenes, which is why you see Georgia going blue as much as it has. It's because they have focused so much on Atlanta in the metro area,
because that's
bringing
where the
in all
people
these California, New York people with those values that they have, bring that to Atlanta, which is the South. And now, if you can flip Georgia, you've already gotten Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia used to be red.
Well, and let me add to this
Virginia's already, it's turned in. The Tennessee's the one to watch with Nashville.
And let me add to this from Andrea Tice reporting. Consider the fundraising ratios. The two Democratic delegates, again, we're comparing Terry Sewell, Shamari Figures to Gary Palmer and Barry Moore. The two Democratic delegates have outraised their Republican counterparts at roughly 3-1 or 2-1 rate in the red state of Alabama. So, for instance, Gary Palmer raised 2 million, Barry 1.2, and again, both Terry and Shamari 3.6.
That is so
nuts.
That is so Democrat.
Nuts, man.
That's so Democrat. It's Kamala Harris raising $1 billion to lose to Trump, who only raised like 500 million.
Right. It's a machine. It's a machine.
It's crazy. Like, they're throwing all this money, and what are you getting out of it? You're in a red state. Okay. Yeah, can you win Montgomery? Sure. Of course, when y'all are changing the district lines and putting these people over here and that, of course, you're gonna get more offices.
Yes.
But you could have won District 2 with what's it, Anton? What's the guy's name? Anthony Daniels.
Anthony Daniels.
He could have won.
Yeah, I like him.
But they chose Shamari for a specific reason.
Yeah, and I noticed I've only seen one press conference, and I'm not saying Shamari doesn't go around locally to folks. He does, I think, but he doesn't do a lot of media.
He flies below the radar a lot.
And I think that's to his credit in a way. The man who talks the least is usually the smartest in the room.
And it's the quiet before the storm, because he's been taught this, right? I mean, he's been taught. Look at his family.
He was deputy attorney general under Merrick Garland. The guy is like top level player.
Yeah, so
comes from a
so he's an intelligent guy. He knows what he's doing. Plus, he has the machine behind him.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's not gonna say too much. He came to the city of Montgomery and spoke on the whole Jackson Hospital kerfuffle, and and there again, that's now. If I'm sorry to have to give game, but I'm gonna give a little game to the Democrats. If you want to gain people, you use stuff like Jackson Hospital to do it.
Yeah.
That's your end.
It's an excellent end,
right?
Yep.
But if you're conservative minded, you need to realize this to be able to understand that they're going to use that situation.
Yeah, what's going on?
So yeah.
And before I hit a break, it just came to mind. Have y'all been getting those texts too about the Blue Cross BS?
Yep.
Like this is bull crap. Like it's like anti Blue Cross Blue Shield ads saying that they don't fairly do reimbursement rates, and this is why like places like Jackson Hospital are struggling. Blue Cross, of course, disputes that, but there is now an act. Somebody's paying for it. An active campaign against Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I've heard that they've retained the company that has fiscal responsibility for Jackson right now. The one that came from the outside is
Jackson Group.
Group has hired a public relations firm to do stuff. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting the fight over that. And again, this goes back to leadership. And I'm sorry I don't care who's mayor. This is a Blue Cross Blue Shield. You need the governor. And then I'm also just off the top of my head, sorry to keep moving around here. We also need a governor. You don't have to go full George Wallace. I'm not trying to bankrupt anybody with populist schemes. But why the hell is Alabama Power's rate of return so damn high? Why are the rates, the power rates so damn high?
Yeah.
They don't care.
People should go look up my guy, Christopher Pease. All right. Look him up. He has done heavy research into Alabama Power and the whole Public Service Commission, whatever, PSC.
Yeah.
You look, man, he's done a lot of research and he shows you where the millions and millions of dollars is going when y'all are paying these outrageous rates.
Yep. And it's a self-licking ice cream cone that the elite of the Dixiecrats and the rhinos in this state have. That Public Service Commission is a very powerful. I had a friend who was a judge on that for the nuclear regulatory piece. She said, Troy, nothing happens unless they bless off on it.
I think what's something like 11.1% is their return on equity.
Pretty high.
Current like rate of return, which is above the national utility average. And I would almost like a simple rule that y'all's rate of return, or actually what's more important is what the consumer is paying.
This is right.
That you must be at or below regional average. Because right now we're the highest in the Southeast. So, and can just make a simple rule of no, this must be at or below the regional average. You could do rate of return, or you could do just power rates in general. Right now, I think we're at 16.72 cents per kilowatt hour as of late last year. So I would love to see a change. Now, all this does go back to like we created this automated like rate system. So like, and this goes back to Wallace in the 70s and what he was trying to do. But it's about time that like the PSC is bought and paid for very clearly. And if you really try to challenge it, you're going to get hammered.
You're not going to win. Yeah.
Like you need boatloads of money to fight back against that. You need big name ID, or you need somebody like a governor or somebody with like actual sway to get in there. And again, Alabama Power does a lot of great things. Don't get me started, but there are aspects of this where this just ain't fair. Why can't we have a simple rule where y'all bring it down a little bit? And a 2-year rate freeze isn't convincing.
If you gave me 2 months, I could put together a small hit team that could probably convince them to otherwise. It's not just the governor that we need. We need some firepower.
What in the world is wrong with you?
I'm tired of it. You ever seen Falling Down, the movie Falling Down? No, that's me. No, I'm joking.
Actually, I'm talking to you off here. I know a few of the things wrong with you.
You said the only other thing that can fix it. That's not true. I know a couple things that can fix it.
Serious. This is not Iran.
You said we can go die hard.
We're trying to keep it from being Iran, and it's on its way.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. At Adams Drugs, we offer a wide variety of services, including delivery, compounding, wellness clinics, and immunizations. Now is the time to visit any Adams Drugs location and get your flu shot. Getting an annual flu shot can help prevent you from getting the flu, reduce the severity of symptoms if you get the flu, and prevent serious complications such as hospitalization and death. Getting your flu shot at Adams Drugs protects you from getting sick, but it also makes sure that those around you, especially those at high risk, remain safe. Each year, up to 49 million people in the U.S. contract the flu. Depending on the flu virus's severity, deaths as a result of flu complications could skyrocket to 79,000 people nationwide. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for a location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the way as an approaching frontal system brings rain back into the forecast. Today will be a warmer day, high 66. Risk of showers beginning this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms becoming likely tonight. And first half of the day, Saturday, a few stronger storms not out of the question. Breezy tonight, low 58. Saturday's high up to about 68. Look for improvement by Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks dry but cooler with a high temperature up near 60. And we've got some warmer days ahead next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Papa B. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going? What's up?
And not too great. I had to put my dog down the other day.
No, man, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And you just, a better friend you could not ask for.
Yep.
Amen.
But, live long enough, you're going to have to do it too.
Yeah, they're better than most people, man.
I got to say that I have to agree with that.
The drill sergeant told me to get a dog, don't marry a woman, and I didn't listen, and look where I'm at.
This rate. Hey, do y'all remember a couple of years ago they had like the refund some money to us? Somehow you got a refund some amount. Do y'all remember that? They had to give us like a few $100 refund.
I do. Didn't it have something to do with what was that for?
It was something. I don't know.
I do remember we did get a windfall. It was like everybody got it.
Power company? You mean
power company.
Yeah.
The power company.
Yeah, it was for.
It wasn't.
I remember this. I do remember this. Yeah.
I'm telling you though, within just a couple of cycles after that, it was like the rates went up, and they were like, "We're getting that money back."
And that's what people are worried about with this 2-year freeze. They'll get it back.
So last winter, Papa B, we have a log home. It's got the windows need replaced, but our power bill last year during that cold snap we had, it increased by $300 and 2 billion cycles. And a lot of people complained about it. I don't know if you remember hearing about that, but they just said, well, that's because of added demand and all that. And I'm like, oh, man, come on.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Some people might not realize this, but the R value for log homes is really high.
It's good. It's good if your windows are sealed, but we have some older windows we got to replace. But yeah, and I use a wood burning stove with the blower. Man, you'll run you out of there.
Oh yeah, it will. I bet it will. So Troy, you can maybe answer this question for me. How do you beat an insurgency?
How do you beat an insurgency? Well, it depends on what kind of insurgency it is. Is it a religious one? Is it a resistance to an invader? But there's many ways to do it. But ass-kicking violence and infiltration of it's how you do it, dude. Yeah. And you show no mercy for an insurgency. Yeah, no mercy whatsoever. And if they're Islamic, you bury them with bacon on top of them, their bodies, and that'll stop them from joining.
So I've heard that you beat an insurgency or by a counterinsurgency.
You do. You have. That's what I'm saying. You got to be more violent and more and you build factions within them. You try to divide some of them that have power play in it, like the Israelis do with Hezbollah and with Hamas.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said like the Israelis did with Hamas, and they started playing break-off factions against each other. And Iran, big time. Clearly. Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Well, we've had all this, this information warfare, as I've called it over the years.
Ghosting them.
But now we've got to a point where it looks like, well, if we're going to actually take back some of the blue dot cities and such, I'm not so sure, Troy, that they're going to be very willing.
I agree. Pop, I think I know where you're going, and correct me if I'm wrong. I've said this before. When there's a power struggle between definition of what the future looks like in any system, a vacuum occurs until it's established. And there means an X and a Y axis that crosses at that intersection. That might be left and right, or, as to today's camps. Violence has to occur, and one has to die extreme. For all of our technological advances, for all of our great achievements, we're still animals, okay? And force is what determines the outcome. Karl von Clausewitz, the great Prussian philosopher, said it best. War is nothing more than politics continued at the highest level. So,
I'm
yeah.
not so sure that, it's going to have to come to
I hope
an
not, but
actual shooting thing.
I hope
But,
not.
here's the thing. I'm looking for an inflection point.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
What
But
would
I'm-
it take?
I'm
What would it
looking
take for you? What would it take for you for an inflection
for
point?
me, for me, it would be in continuity of government,
Okay.
a non-continuity
I
of
can dig
government of some kind.
Okay.
I think we're already there.
No, of
Okay, because when the government of the people are not serving the people, well, then that is enough for
Social contract.
something like a federal, type of takeover in some phase, in some fashion or other. But now, the politics of it is another thing, and the visuals of it is another thing. So, riot, another something like they're burning, looting,
Yeah.
destroying, that kind of thing. And I'm thinking they were probably going to get there because, in spite of what some people think, I believe that Trump is pretty good at poking the bear here.
Oh, sure.
And
he does.
I think that he's poking them right well.
Right. Well, I like that. I like that term.
I worry though, especially with like what I think Trump's on the right track in terms of general trends, but I've heard it said he instead of crossing the Rubicon, he just started fishing in the Rubicon, and
I like that.
And I think it's whether it's right or left. What you're going to have is folks are going to realize once you have the Congress, you need a very vigorous executive. They won't be called a king or a monarch or anything like that, but it'll still be called a president. But they'll have to remake things. And in fact, this has happened in our history. Look at, Lincoln with all the bloodshed. But then, thank God, under FDR, it was not here, it was overseas. But FDR is the last example of this, of just completely remaking the system. And in fact, the system we have is really the one he built still. There have been a few add-ons, but and so everything's sort of on this autopilot, and you see the amount of graft, amount of corruption, even stuff that people go, yeah, I agree with that. Like Medicaid, let's help, poor folks who are sick. And then you see the amount of fraud in it. Everything is touched on. So to your point, yeah, there's a discontinuity. I tend to agree with you. The most forceful response actually doesn't have to be violent. Like if you have superior force to the extent of like, you can't even resist. And I think that might be the move down the road, whether it'll be right or left or whatever. Ideally, the color of a strong, say, leader would be purple, but that actually brings people together. No, seriously, like
Jesus Christ,
the
purple.
pitch to the American people is like, aren't you tired of red and blue?
Yeah.
Aren't you tired of all this nonsense crap, this political kayfabe theater that you see that where you vote for folks and nothing changes?
In a perfect America, it should be Democrat and Republicans working together. That's what it should be.
It could. I mean, if only it could be so, and I hope it.
Well, you know what? It could be purple. Jesus Christ, our Lord. We need to get back to
the King of
basics.
Kings.
Yeah, we got to get back to the basics, man. Secularism has to be kicked out.
That is the foundation upon which we can all meet. That's
Amen,
true.
brother.
So I'd
Amen.
say this just real quickly before you have to go. So right now, there's a soft counterinsurgency happening because what happens is you see all this outrage. The voting in Fulton County is all screwed up. We see that, it was stolen over there. Yep. Minnesota, all the fraud and everything. This allows Trump and team to surge in assets, okay, to deal with it behind the scenes, behind the curtain. It wanted to be dealt with because what happens is he goes in there and he starts kicking butt and taking names and everything, not just that one thing, but everything. That's the reason all these blue dot governors and mayors are really terrified that he's going to take up because if he does have to surge the National Guard and or Marines, and I would love it, and say I'd love it if we had like military tribunals right now, guys. Okay, but that's not going to happen. But if he could surge and take over and actually at least have us to have free, fair election, that would be enough, I think, to do a lot of good.
Well,
anyway,
I not to quibble too much because your counterinsurgency it makes a lot of sense. But I would say that what you're seeing is the same old liberal boomer oligarchy that maybe has been inherited by younger people at this point, but it's just fighting back, and they've been in charge for a long time, and it's the same tactics.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, let's hope for a really good year coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Y'all have a good one.
Now, what do you think of Mamdani and all this socialism breaking out in New York? You know, it's never really been tried. True socialism, never been tried.
Hey, I guess not in America, huh? It's going to be, New York City is about to see crazy amounts of violence, crime, fraud, just across the board. Because socialism is all about government control, right?
Yep.
It's all about the government deciding how much you get of what you get, who gets it, that type of thing. So they're going to be empowering certain organizations that as we've seen throughout the years, be just wrought with all kind of fraud and everything. They're going to be emboldening these groups now. Now you're going to be emboldening the criminals, because now they're going to know, okay, well, they're not going to lock us up because socialism, they don't even believe in that. They want to give everybody 15 opportunities.
Yeah. If you think that there was problems with the Somali community and just the things in Minneapolis, wait till you get to the welfare fraud in New York City. It's going to be just by virtue of the amount of people. It's going to be
New York City, New York State, and California.
Yeah, all up and down.
That's real big. And for all the ism talk, and I certainly lived in that world in libertarianism for a long time, so I was schooled up on how awful socialism is.
Yes.
I'm at the point in life of like, and you can talk about immigration, or you can talk about the national debt or foreign policy, whatever. I'm at the point of like, what are the practical policies that are going to frickin' work so this place doesn't become an open air prison and hellhole? Because I don't want to see a great nation brought to its knees by this incompetence and these utopian, dystopias that they bring about.
Fantasy.
And often it doesn't happen overnight. It's just this slow, mundane, like we mentioned a clip earlier of Ayn Rand talking to Mike Wallace in 1959 that we're going in the wrong direction. And folks, look at how great things were in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and things are going so good. And it's like, but then look at where we are now in terms of like the average man, what he can actually earn and pay for. And like the big players, the impunity they seem to have. And she very much predicted you will not have a system of merit. You will have a system of pull and privilege.
This is true.
And at least the mask is off for now in New York City's political leadership. Anyway, we have to hit this last break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Hey, this is Lyle from Margaret's Exquisite Jewelry, and I do my radio advertising on Blue Water. I'll tell you what, I use most of the stations, and I've been using it for so long. It's hard to tell with the money you spend on advertising if it does any good. When they come in and say, I heard you on the radio, I know it's Blue Water, and I love Blue Water.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Good. Y'all have a good New Year's Eve?
Absolutely. Very quiet one. I fell asleep early.
Let me tell you the problem with having a kid late in life is all their buddies show up and won't leave until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, but they were safe.
You knew where they were at. That's right. You knew where they were at.
They were playing games and being loud, and I was like, it'll be fine. And then I said, I'll go to bed early tomorrow night, and Ole Miss and the rest said, hold my beer. Let me put
a good game.
back on that clock.
That Georgia Ole Miss game was awesome, actually.
It was.
You know, after watching the ref, and after what they did to Auburn and Georgia, I was really pulling hard for Ole Miss. I'm like, okay, the refs are totally bought and paid for. They're doing everything they can to get Georgia into this next game. It's all about money. It's all about eyeballs. And Lane Kiffin doing what he did, I was all for Ole Miss. I hope they win the whole darn thing.
Yep. I think it'd be a nice thumb in the eye, old Lane Kiffin.
I think so too.
He deserves it.
But now we've got a new year here. We are ready to roll, and the best way to kick things off is to let's quit procrastinating. Call us at 285-8117, and let's get these floors going. The trees are up. They better be up. My tree is up. I put mine up first thing New Year's. I didn't even wait till Angie get out of bed at like 7 o'clock on that. I said, hey, can I put Christmas up? Yeah. She's like, yeah, whatever. And when she woke up about 10, it was gone.
Good.
I wasn't taking any chances on making that happen Saturday. So the trees are out. Let's put a new floor in. Call us 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement.
Again, that's 285-8117. When you call them up, be sure to say, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio show with those fella Joey in the gang.
And tonight I am going to bed early. I'm over it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You got a few years on me, but I'm of the same spirit these days. Appreciate you, Ray.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Take care.
We got about 4 or 5 minutes left. Line 2, you're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam calling from Pike County.
Hey, Sam.
Man.
And I just all right. Listen, I think I've got the COVID again. I haven't been this sick in a few years, so I'm going to spit out something very important as quick as I can before I start coughing and carrying on. Joey, earlier you mentioned that you would love to visit Persia, and I remember seeing a special on Iran here a while back. They have these temporary marriages that you can get into while you're there. They can last a weekend, a week, a month. And I'm just saying, there's some, lonely young ladies that temporarily can be yours. So it's a nice little
You know, as you were suggesting that through your COVID or super flu or whatever you got, you know what? I was just sent by a man's wife, Eddie Bader, wearing a fake wig that looks like a mullet,
he's got a Speedo on it.
with an America hat, and he has an American flag Speedo on.
That's just disgusting, man. That should be against the law.
You don't want to see it?
Hell no.
You don't want to see it? I got it right here. I can send it.
L doesn't want to see it.
L doesn't want to see that.
You do want to see it?
L does not want to see that.
That's what I thought. You can reminisce about it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Go spoon with it.
Shout out to Eddie, but hey, man.
Like he last day of Jamaica, he threw on a Speedo.
Hey, that's for the ladies.
So but he's utilizing the flag in the wrong way.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say to Eddie is weight room. Weight room.
Your ladies need leg work.
I've got that week between Christmas. I got that holiday look right now, man.
Yeah,
on all of it. But listen, earlier though, I'd love to have mouthed off. It's been a great show. About like I said, the lack of leadership. Just, when I was a kid coming up in Montgomery, there were no air conditioners in the school. I always go back to that. Families organized, and we made that happen. By the time I was in the 4th grade over Seth Johnson, hey, we had at least one AC in every unit. People felt like they were getting something of value from their school system, and they would put forth the effort. That's all I got.
Appreciate you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Have a good day.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Nectarine.
Nectarine.
Yeah. Y'all don't know me.
What's up?
Anyway, the fella called in about he thought he was getting COVID or something like that. Well, I'm going to tell you what one of the best medicines we've ever had is nicotine.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Oh, as I pop a nicotine pouch.
We're doing nicotine here.
In my mouth.
Nicotine patches. I wear one every other day.
Yep.
They got them in 3 levels. You can buy 3 packages, the 1, 2, and 3 that has 30 patches in each box for about $40. I went to the drugstore, like Walgreens, and they had a 2-week supply for $58 behind the counter. Ridiculously high.
That's funny.
Well, once you
anyway,
get addicted, they can
that's
charge you
right.
whatever.
You know, Dr. Brian Artist, he's on Facebook. That guy is absolutely. He gets people cured of type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the MD doctors want to tell you you're stuck with it for life, and they want to treat you.
Well, you can, through some changes, definitely change some stuff. I appreciate the call. Nectarine talking about nicotine.
Nectarine.
Yeah. 272-9228. Oh, but we're out of time pretty much. Did we learn anything today? More.
I learned something about Persia, man. I didn't know that they had that going on over there.
Well, that's a Kardashian. You might find a Kardashian over there. That'd be good for you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be a good look.
That's a card. They're Persian. Yeah. You stay away from that part of the world. You know, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the dwarves in Tolkien's novels, and we dwarves.
We don't like midgets.
We swim with hairy little women.
That's not what that's Polish, and you're not all Polish.
See, I always hear about Lithuania and all that, Romania. I think about Hostel.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that scarred me.
That's
I'm
where
like,
he would
I'm
be
never
staying
going.
when he's traveling, because he'd be like traveling through the countryside.
I'm
You
not-
know
hey,
that guy who made
a
that
backpacker.
movie? I believe his name Eli Roth.
Yeah,
and he is the Bear Jew and Inglorious Bastard.
Okay, I didn't see that movie.
Yeah. He ruined my mind as well. I wish I'd never seen that. movie. That stuff.
I don't want to go over there.
Anyway,
that's funny.
We'll get out of here.
All right,
Happy hours next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM.